it's a big risk, right? If you get shut down, your money is going to be in a bit of a starting point. Well, you have only Zipix, Mister, and Glaive that are going to have somewhat of a buy in the next one. Blame F and Crystal are going to be scrapping for cash. But if it works out, and it does work out, well, so are going to be in a really tough spot right now. They just got to save once again. They just can't go for retakes like that.
All right, that's a very swift round there from Astralis. But again, gun saved, still here for Saw. You could consider reinvesting. There are, I mean, there's
I think
money to drop over
at this point.
Yeah, I think it's time to. You're probably right on that one there, Ted. Is just to call it a day and just keep the guns that you got. AWP for Story probably wants to be on the horizon. Getting that CT side op is a priority for the Portuguese.
Yeah, especially in a map like this, too, you know, the Oper's Paradise alongside Overpass, I like to call it, gives you a lot of space, a lot of options. Unless you get completely isolated, you're probably going to have an impactful game with the big green here. And this is still a round in which they can do some damage. I mean, you still have the 3 rifles. Utility is actually all right. You have a defuse kit on U-Jerk, so you can potentially go for a retake if it gets to it. And just Roman have the armor to back up that 5-7 and the Digo. It doesn't actually look that bleak for the CT side. They can be dangerous, and we can see Astralis playing it a little bit slowly, not exactly sure on what to expect on the other side. They haven't really gotten the confirmation on what kind of an investment so we're going for. Oh, Roman, you've been seen.
Oh, that's a pretty big deal. Angle is being held here by Blame F. If they try to push the issue, Blame could find the instant headshot. He will. Spots the other. That is the Galileo Story. Will push aggressively, and Blame F will dispatch both of them. 3 versus 5, and they'll walk out middle. Mutiris is here, but not anymore. Glaive just wins the outright gunfight with the FAMAS, no less. And that puts just 5-7 in position. Has to hold things down. Opens up with the first headshot on the Mister. Astralis are starting to second guess this. They're going to go back to you, Jerk. Headshot angle being played. Finds an instant double kill. And that's the bomb down on the catwalk. Now the rotate is being cut off here by Blame F. Sitting out towards middle. This duel means everything. They might just hunt for the kill instead. Blame F will escape. He doesn't want to give up his life. A 1v2 for Just.
Yeah, really smart move from Blame. He realizes that he doesn't have to risk it right there. If he gets into a fight that he loses, that's just going to give Just a chance. And there was a defuse kit dropped somewhere by U-Jerks, but look at that from
nice.
Zipix. The defuse kit was down CT, but Zipix with the elevated angle is going to get the kill for an 0 for Astralis, even though that one goes really, really close there. That one kill from the 5-7 was enough to make Astralis just run their Sandos towards the A-bomb side, but they were not ready for U-Jerks towards CT.
Yeah, I was saying that he had, despite the scoreline of U-Jerks, I still think his performance on Ancient was commendable. That is, I mean, firepower is still there, certainly. Yeah. If there wasn't Zipex towards long, that round could be a catastrophe for Astralis.
Yeah, for sure.
Zipex on these lurks have been impactful so far early in this game.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to see a lot of, as you pointed out, you know, that early presence towards long from Zip. One thing that he loves doing is, you know, getting into the action early on. They send him out with a couple flashes, maybe a couple smokes, assist him to get into a good position, and then he just freezes, right? He's just getting into a good position, and then he doesn't really initiate contact. Or if he does, well, that means that they're going to be playing a bit of a faster round. It just really depends on the idea that Astralis have for set round. But yeah, he's really good at, you know, transitioning from making first contact to being that lurking player. He needs to be careful with making the first contact against the AWP here, though.
Ooh, little duel attempted there by Blame F. Mutiers doesn't want any of that, though. And we'll drop off instead. Early on, Astralis, they love pressuring this mid to be split. Another flash out, and Saul have to attend to this gap in the defense. Glaive wants to press the issue. He's going to toss in the smoke and the molly, threaten that split, and those alarm bells start going off for Saw.
Yeah, it's a really good protocol thing that Astralis are going to do a lot of, right? Show some middle presence, knowing that Saw are playing this one a little bit more passively. And right now, Saw don't really know if there's Astralis players outside of middle, and this is the trap card that Astralis are trying to play into them, right? I mean, they have no intentions of actually using middle. They just have one player that's going to be cutting off rotations, and they've left middle. They're so afraid of it. They're going to be playing a retake setup on that B-bomb side. The fake is perfect. Astralis are just going to walk out.
I mean, I can't believe it. They just took the hardest site to take in the game without a shot being fired. Astralis mind games, but they try to push through. They do try to retake. They don't want to let that bomb get planted. They know what a B-site post-plant means, but it's a double kill from Xyp9x. And this will be the post-plant that CT side so dread. Do they attempt for it? Mutiris wants to take a look in here, but it's so dangerous. Just on the double stack is Xyp9x right now, just waiting for a flash, waiting for that contact to be taken. Shoulder spotted. There you go. Xyp9x opens up. That's a third kill for him, and that's a save for Saw. 5-zip for Astralis.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, the fact that Glaive doesn't really fire a shot as well, he's just waiting for Zip to make first contact, and then he swings from the back of the side. Those are just the little details that, you know, are not going to give Saw a chance in a round like that. But that was a really good move. I feel like Glaive is... Well, it might be a little bit risky to say that only 5 rounds into a game, but I feel like he's into their heads a little bit, and maybe now is the time to go for a little bit of a pause if you're Saw, because side. They were so afraid of this being another short play or maybe a mid to B. They realized it would have been really tough if the rotation player was just cut off and they had to hold on to the B bomb side all alone, the 2 of the players. So they decided to kind of tunnel vision themselves towards middle.
Saw changing up the setup a bit. However, 2 players towards bottom middle on the gun round. You see Christo take some flak in towards the upper tunnels. In lower tunnels, though, is Roman. Full mid control now for Saw, and Mutiris pushed up. This is the bomb. This is the bomb approaching Mutiris, and he gets the spot. That's it, dropped. And now Astralis are in a very, very panicked situation. How are they going to get that bomb? How can they get this control with a double setup with Mutiris covering fire? 2 versus 5, and Saw have this round gifted to them.
Yeah, that's a great move from Saw. Finally, they switched things up. They've realized this is one way to counter Astralis toying with your minds, right? Just get middle control. Just play into them. That was absolutely great. Xyp9x was never ready for that up-close angle towards top middle, and as soon as he falls down, that just provokes the reaction coming in from the tunnels player, and Saw, they had a perfect setup. 1 towards lower, 1 up short. Astralis just didn't have an idea on what hit him, and now it's just Crystal. 1 versus 5. Not a single kill on the board for him. UJerks shuts him down. A triple for Mutiris, a double for UJerks, and a first for Saw.
I mean, that's an excellent setup from Saw. Just full mid control and also the double setup in tunnels. 1 player on the catwalk and Roman down low. I mean, Mutiris locking it down. He's the real talk of the town there. Yeah, first round on the board for Saw. It's convincing.
Yeah, it was really important that it was convincing as well, right? Because they're trying to build up a foundation as well. It's not just winning a couple rounds and being okay with it. You want to make sure that you have some kind of, you know, a dominant streak going into that defensive side of things. You don't really want to let Astralis get away with a couple lost clutches, because that's just going to keep the money really low on the CT side. A 1-1 buy round by Astralis is just going to reset you. And now that's not really the case. You've started to actually look a little bit better. A second round here would cement Saw's chances here to actually have a decent score in that first half. Obviously, it's way too early to write them off, but quite important that early on you do manage to pick up a couple rounds on the stack.
So in more of the stock standard setup, no one in CT spawn. They're trying to play this A defense, anticipating that catwalk play.
Yeah, and that's a really good change of tempo as well. Well, change of pace, I guess you could call it, because in the previous round, they were a lot more aggro towards middle, you know, showing Astralis that they can take the initiative. And now you've just made Astralis waste a lot more time trying to clear out all those possibilities. And you're just playing it really passively from the back of the side, saving a lot of your util as well.
Still plenty enough, though, here for Astralis to put in a good execute. 3 smokes in. Preparing themselves maybe for a drop. BlameF can go into CT spawn if he so pleases, or play the one-ways. This is so nice. This is such a great way to split the B bomb site. Now Roman getting Wolfing down to 5 HP, but Mutiris does push the issue. He wants to take the fight to them. He doesn't want to let them split for free. And now UJerks makes the same move. Xyp9x though deals with both of them. 2 versus 3, but Mr. finds the entry. They're not ready for Just though. And now with time running so darn low, Christo, it's just time to save. Saw find the round. The aggressive maneuvers through the smoke. They're taking the fight to Astralis.
Yeah, that was a great reaction. Blame going down there, trying to drop into short. He was waiting for the contact to be made from the CT player, right, towards middle. And then he drops, gets that kill. This is a completely open round for Astralis. But that was a great reaction. The rifle is doing all the job there for So as they start to bounce back here on the CT side. Looking a lot more comfortable, even though the AWP of Story is still on only 1 kill. Same for Roman. Mutiris and U-Jerks have been stepping up in a lot of these rounds.
Perso still has an AWP, and I'm wondering if they know that's in play or not. Scoping up, that surely is heard. Oh, but the flames obscure just. That's the op on the ground, and that is a massive advantage going the way of Saw.
Yeah, well, that was the only gun. I mean,
Yep.
It's just up to the pistols now, so it's about how many guns can you actually take away.
I don't think U-Jerks wants to let any be taken away here. I'm gonna be honest, that's another great headshot for him. And searching for that AWP. Where are you?
Oh.
Oh man. He's able to cross safely. Don't worry. Ooh, is just gonna press the issue. No, he's gonna just make his way into.
That's been heard,
on
100%.
the double stack. You think?
Yeah, just knows exactly what's going on. He's not gonna peek into that.
It is the perfect angle to deal with an opper as well. Who is gonna pre-aim the top of the double stack, all things said.
Just look at him. He's gonna do it.
Now that I said it,
Look it up.
perhaps. He does, but he's not scoped in for it. That's an instant headshot. That's the round there for Saw. It's 3 on the trot.
Yeah, it's another swift round as well. I mean, Seoul have started to look quite dominant. I mean, yeah, the previous round, they did win with only 2 players surviving, but that was a buy versus buy. The round before that, they did win with 5 surviving, and now they get another clean one on the board. One is actually looking fantastic right now for the CT side. Storios on 9k, Materials on, yeah, he's the lowest 1 on 3 with Roman, but you still have just above 6. You have U-Jerks that's above 4. Things are looking great right now for the Iberian side, and they go back to the aggression. Materia is going to be a lot more pacey towards lower this time around.
Oh, okay, because they're going to go crunch in towards the upper tunnels. Normally, you'd find Astralis here mulling around, but this time around, they've left it vacant. They've evacuated the tunnels, and they're coming back out towards long late. This is a new look here from Astralis, but they have Story in position. Scoped up, he spotted an elbow, but U-Jerks is providing the cover. That could have been Story going down, but this is now a problem for Astralis. They're locked in combat. The setup is here. Another headshot for the young gun. Even brings out the Deagle to try and finish out the job. The confidence oozing
He's not reloading
right now, and he just keeps going off. Roman now follows up, and Astralis have been shut down at the long doors.
He's just reloading
Mister.
the Diego, just shooting with it. Mister is in a 1 versus 5. That's impossible to get away from.
I would... Inevitability.
He's still running with the pistol.
I can't believe it. Mutiris will close it down from the end of it, but, I mean, Saw just on a rager right there.
Yeah.
4 rounds straight.
Yeah, that was a lockdown. And I'd actually, I want to emphasize on the fact that, Astralis go for that long play, but it's not because I think they didn't really want to go for it that early and feel so desperate early on, but just Soul taking away that tunnels control and making it so vocally as well, right? Astralis knew exactly what was going on. They knew that Soul had the entire map covered up.
Oh!
So they kind of had to play into them. Hello, Glaive. Yeah, okay. Imagine he hits the jump spot, or rather the jump shot.
That was just on the cross. There is still a real possibility for this round. There's a lot of avenues that could begin to open up.
I
in the
can think
4v5s.
of a couple highlights from Glaive with a scout on Dust 2. I'm just saying.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. He's had his story with the AWP, back when Lucky was on the lineup. Games in which Glaive was the oper.
Yeah. Bit of a throwback, I suppose.
Yeah, and you know what they say? You want your IGL to frag? Just give him away a scout.
Yeah, and this could happen. They just walk up. It's only Matiris who can fight this, and they make their way up. Now Matiris could be in some serious trouble. 4 players coming his way, and now up close, but a great flash thrown for Story, but he's out of ammo. He has to reload, and the pistols could start to encroach as Blameth lands an insane Deagle headshot. And Glaive on the scout. We're talking this highlight reel, and we might see it in front of our eyes. A 2v3. U-Jerks, though, great shot. Last 2 players on the site. Bomb yet to be planted. 30 seconds on the clock, and U-Jerks doesn't want to waste any of that time. He'll clean house with a 3K and Roman to finish. Saw avert the crisis.
Yeah, that was a great recovery. That felt really, really pisky there for a second. Blamev getting that 1D, Glay following up with the scout, but still Ujurix was able to find a multi-kill. We spoke about him before the start of the day quite a lot. He's 13-4 right now. He's been doing a really good job, right? This is kind of like, I guess you could argue that on a map like Dusty, where it's so easy to lock off the CTs, every single row is quite important, but being the rotation player, you're going to get into a lot of action. All right.
See ya.
Yeah, let me tell you
That's all
a terrifying story.
Tell me that story.
Yeah, you
Oh,
kind of,
here it is.
yeah, it kind of ruined the pun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
alright.
kind of get it. All right, let's see this terrifying story. Another one for him. And spots the arm through the smoke, almost finds the shot onto BlameF. Now the smoke,
Yeah.
and BlameF not expecting it. 6 rounds for Saw.
Just running him down. And this is, by the way, I feel like this is the right way to approach it in a scenario like that. If you're BlameF, you feel like they're not really gonna want to pick up the fights with you, but you know, they don't really give him the space, right? They pressure him, they make him feel uncomfortable in the clutch, and you said it, he is maybe the most dangerous person in the server in that clutch environment. So if you really take him, or rather let him take his time, well, he can make you suffer. Back to the
B-rush. Here we go.
Yeah, 2-2.
Out into the middle of the V site. Good shot there from BlameF, at least to shut down Roman. And actually finds the double kill. BlameF has made it across, but the bomb, a different story. Op shot fired, and Mr. can actually get the bomb planted. BlameF could make this happen.
Yeah.
Mr.'s also picked up an AK.
They recover rifles. There's still 2 smokes.
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot of damage done onto Mr. That's going to make it a lot easier. And look at the flashes from Story. They're going to rain in any moment now.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. BlameF surely about to be blind. Or not. They walk in. Barrel spotted. And now he has to switch to the Tech 9. 40 HP versus 15. And it'll be Mr. to clutch up the 1v1. Astralis with a pressure situation.
Yeah, and a tactical timeout being called straight away from the coach. This is a really important round. What a clutch from BlameF and Mr. The first 2 shots, the flashes don't really catch him. Astralis go for the attack here, leveling things up once again. That's not a round that you'd expect them to win. And it's once again that B-bomb side, by the way. They've been so successful towards it.
Yeah, it's been their target. They've been able to manipulate Saw's defense early on in this game to get that B bomb site. They get themselves into another good position, and the 2v3 is a totally winnable position. But without the flashes, man, I thought there was going to be a barrage. BlameF was going to be blind, and everything was going to fall into place there for Saw. I'm just wondering why they hesitated on that decision, and you can see a little bit of discontent in the camp. They're 6-all at the moment, and Astralis give themselves an avenue back into this dust tube.
Yeah, Castle's gonna bring up the strat book here for Astralis. Obviously, he is the ex-Astralis talent coach. It was the same story with Trace as well, right? He was coaching the Astralis talent before he got promoted into the first team, so the Danes seem to be willing to give a lot of chances to the staff of the academy team. And, you know, Castle, some of you might know him from his time as an analyst and coach over at Singularity and Masonic.
Yep.
He's taught Christo how to do that.
Perhaps he did. And now Story is gonna have to teach them a thing or two about offing, and that will be the first. BlameF, a couple other pot shots. The shots rain through the car, and it's so claustrophobic out there towards the car position, but sitting inside his own smoke, he might be able to preserve himself, and Astralis don't really want to battle it too much, or do they? More mollies. This just becomes inhospitable for Story. Do they want to keep peeking him, though? A great flash, but he fires on the flash. It's so perfect from Story. Another kill gifted over him. He's being hunted, though, right now by Zipnix, and he'll go down eventually. 3 versus 3, and Zipnix just hits another blinder. Where has this been?
Whoa,
He's going to go ahead and smokes for the cross. They're going to make it in. Roman, though, still tries to make a play. The flash is great, but Zipnix is better. Utility does nothing to this man, and it's just a 1v2 around the site is the first, and now Zipnix to beat in the 1v1 to complete the clutch. You have to beat the Minister.
Yeah, 3 kills under his belt for this one. Looking for the 4th, but it's just gonna get it. 21 HP to spare as well. What a round that was from Zipnix, but just shuts it down.
7 now for Saw. A massive round to win, but we're starting to get down to the nitty gritty. 1 player surviving for Saw. Astralis' money is running low. It starts to become a pivot point to see who takes this lead towards the end of the half. But Saw are ahead at the moment. But you gotta give respect to Zipnix. He tried to make that round happen. He is currently top of the board for Astralis.
Yeah, we're seeing some flashbacks here. Golden times for Zipix. He's been picking up the slack. Same for Blame F.
I don't know why.
Astralis, though, still on the T side, so you can get away with maybe not having such a dominant showing. You still need to make it respectful, though, and so once again, going aggressive towards tunnels. We've seen what happened a couple of rounds ago when they played the exact same round. This time, Zip is a little bit slower. User still wins that fight.
Stopped and broke my ankle.
Glaive is already so fast up cat without a peep. Already looking to catch them up, but Story's prepared. Story's so prepared. Out long, though, Mr. deals with you jerks. Still a man advantage. Running. Whoa, boy. Crossing into the open somehow. Christo gets away with that.
That's crazy.
And actually, he gets the off inside of Pit. It's such a power position right here. And the molly on Story, he has no smoke. Oh, this is such... Again, claustrophobia sets in, but he makes do with it. A headshot on a Christo, and he's sticking around even on 8 HP. They're long gone, of course, Astralis, in this 2v4. But man, putting on a show here are the Portuguese.
Yeah, Story with an insane double kill, and now they're getting pinched. There's going to be the double P coming in from lower and short out of the round. What a shutdown from Soul. That's been a great recovery. He looked out of the round. What a shutdown from Soul. I mean, that's been a great recovery into that half, right? That CT side's been impeccable. Astralis did start on a 5-0 lead. Let me remind you that. That's going to be their 8 on the board unless we see a Mr. 1 versus 4 with 25 seconds left. And, well, that answers it.
Saw is looking crisp. They have won 8 of the last 9.
Yeah, look at the smiles as well. They know it. They've put on a really good show here on the CT side. But this is what you need, right? Especially after the update. Obviously, it's been a long time now. But I feel like Dust 2 now favors the CT side a little bit. I mean, in terms of, giving you a lot of freedom, a lot of possibilities to go for many kinds of different plays and approaches. You got to feel like they need a bit of an advantage here on the defense if they want to fight for the end victory. And, well, when nothing works, go back to the basics. Another B play may be intact for Astralis.
That has been their standard default. A smoke always suggests something that they could have pushed out towards the lower tunnels or in towards middle. Instead, Astralis looking to group up for this B play here.
Yeah, once again, it's been the most successful round for them, but this smoke is actually is going to make them reconsider. But look at Matiras. He's going to move himself into a really aggressive position. Are they ready for that?
I mean, some would call this one and done. But that hasn't been the story of Matiras this game. Oh.
He's heard the drop.
So much noise. And that's going to allow Story to get on this line.
Yeah, they're going to set it up. A couple smokes, a couple flashes. AWP on the other side. He needs to deliver.
All right. Over the top of the box, though. The one way isn't doing him any service. Glaive, though, will find that initial and even dropping into spawn. Despite being in the man disadvantage, they actually will be able to get the plant. You see this, Mr. This is a dangerous position, but if it goes unchecked, it could be the power position. Roman, will he peek his head up? He will. Mr. reveals his position. Will he be traded? He starts to get wrapped from long, but just will do that service. It's just Glaive. He'll get cleaned up, and we're about to see a 9-6 half out of Saul. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great. That's a phenomenal comeback. Astralis started this one on a 5-0 lead on the T side. We were thinking that this could be a clean sweep for them, but no. So replicating their performance from earlier on towards, or rather against the Bad News Seagulls, showing us that they're going to be able to put up a fight against Astralis as well. Now, ladies and gents, we're going to be moving into a short little break, and we're going to be right back in just a couple minutes with the second half to see if the Iberians are going to be able to close it out.
Nice-oo. Alrighty. Yikes, Christo 3 and 12. I've always hated Christo's opping. I mean, that's just hot opinions here with Phi casts. Yeah.
Katsokaa kuinka Silvankroi saittia samalla kun Henu kaataa aivan täydellisen kupillisen. Ei sinne kuppiin kyllä enempää mahdu. Myltsillä on tähtäin kohdellaan. Viimeisenkin tulis osua, ja osuuhan se. On se Myltsi vaan tarkka. Vielä jaksaa painaa jalkaa toisen eteen. Hupi hupi! Hyvä tempo päällä pojat.
Podi yrittää pitää vielä tiiminsä pinnalla. 1-2 pommi on jo pläntättynä. Podi löytää ensimmäisen saitilta, sitten hakee vielä sitä viimeistä. Tän ensimmäisen kudin täytyy osua, nyt ei virheitä saa tehdä. Podi tiputtaa vielä luolaan viimeisen.
Löytää sieltä pimeästä se viimeisen pelaajan, hakee vielä sen pommin savu, josta Podi otais kohtaa todella eteenpäin hakemaan. Ne kaikki tarjotavat säkin.
Eiköhän tää riitä. Tulkaas nyt.
Well, I hope you guys like my opinions about Counter-Strike.
You know what?
Catch me on the HLTV forum.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Oh,
I just
boy. Welcome
realized
back.
it. We didn't actually realize we were not muted, so yeah.
Anyhow, welcome back in. 9-6 is the scoreline we're looking at. As we're gonna take away Saw leaping out towards long. We'll see if Astralis can turn things around on this. See if Christo can prove me a bit wrong here.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't really had a lot of chances to bring out the 8.
Of course,
So.
T-side opping is very difficult on this map.
Yeah, well, it still does too, but I guess he's going to get a little bit more here on the defense. That's an interesting pistol from So. It's really, really slow. They just wait it out, but the setup towards Scar is going to be interesting, especially with the lack of a Molotov on the T side.
Alrighty. So Zipex on the angle does have Christo next to him. It's a bait and switch. Zipex is really needing to find some impact here, but he's just going to take his moment to escape instead. That's been spotted, but has the bait work? Can Christo strike? Glaive has. Are they even going to push the issue? BlameF has him locked in, and he's been super soldiered up. He has half armor and dual Berettas. Everything you could want. A great flash and a great shot. Come on, let's go. That's Christo. All right, prove me wrong, my friend. Prove me wrong. 2v4, now Blame starts his playing. Christo, can you make it a third? He certainly can. Astralis pick up the pistol.
Yeah, he's just doubled his kills in a single round. That was a great showing from Christo. He needed that. As you pointed out, it was kind of slower first half from him, ending it on 3 and 12. It was a little bit lacky, but you know, the first 2 shots, they were really impressive. And the entire idea about the bait was great. He even had the flash as well to play along with. BlameF being really proactive elsewhere on the map, just locking them down from behind. Pistol round goes in favor of Astralis. That's Astralis winning both pistol rounds, actually. Which you would think that in a BO1 environment should have a massive impact on how the game ends. Still, though, that late comeback from So in the first half does put them in a really good position, regardless of that pistol. Oh, they're going to be ecoing here. Story is the only one on the scout.
See how that operates. At least. Surprised he actually went in for the purchase. Normally you just have the offer automatically saved for his AWP. But maybe trying to make some impact happen. Drop a gun and as we know, once a gun gets dropped, it seems to just multiply and get out of hand.
Yeah.
Surprising that the scout was the weapon of choice here for Story, but see how he can make this one work.
Well, ideally, you want the pistols to just jump out, and that's going to open up some space for the scout to work with. He actually tries to find the opening and does land the tag.
That's about it. I think the follow-up should be here. Plenty enough with Blame F. Christo does get domed by a P250, but Blame F has got this lockdown. Make it an ace. All 5, crispy clean. And that will make the 8th round for Astralis. They're starting to bounce back.
Yeah. CT side buff. You got to feel like they're going to have a bit of an easier time. We're yet to see Saul bring out the guns, though. Well, we're going to have the chance in this round. AKs across the board. Scout for Story. He's got the B spawn. Unfortunately, not quite the gun for the occasion. 9-8. As we go again. Story going to get challenged by Christo on the other side. Actually, he is towards long, I believe, with the scout. And that's just Mr. spotting towards middle, just jumping around. Gonna line up a quick nice Zaiwu smoke for his team to cross safely towards short. This one starts to look like a bit of an A split here.
Or maybe not.
That's sneaky.
That's so sneaky. But Flame F doesn't buy any of it. He even gets away around the corner. Feel like he should have been a dead man. And no one's going to follow up. Blame F gets his kill, gets out. Will Zipex try to push the issue? It would be a death sentence for sure. But instead, he gets inside of the long house, and now he has the advantage.
Yeah, that's just a great maneuver there from Zip, getting into an up-close angle. He's got this one locked out, and that's going to allow actually Glaive to get back, or rather Blame F to get back closer towards CT. So they've slowed things down. Astralis, they've left middle completely. Now Blame F is going to have some vision on that, but Mr. Any moment now, he's going to get challenged. Every single Soul player is here, bar Mutiris. He's going to be the one lurking towards middle.
Oh, and Glaive, that's a great kill. Now that gives him time to back up towards the site and actually help out Christo. And that will be a double kill, almost the finisher. Rather, it's Mr. here on the site with that MP9. A great round out of Glaive, the IGL, and we have ourselves a 9-all game. Astralis are okay. They're starting to see some dangerous moves out of these guys.
Yeah, get Glaved. That was a great round from the IGO of Astralis. Just moving around. He might have won that round on his own, right? Just moving around, getting the kill onto middle, making it just a one-dimensional take. And as soon as he sees Mutiris smoking over, he has his teammates in a triple setup towards the A-bomb side. He can just rotate back and support his teammate. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Alrighty. We have a scout headshot and a deagle headshot. And some here for Saw. Can Glaive roll it back? He almost finds the kill on a Roman through the wall, but perhaps not enough.
Yeah, boys, there's a massive hole in the bolt right now, and it's starting to fill up with water. Gotta get the buckets. Get to work.
Tears gets a rifle. I do not want this guy with the rifle right now. He's gonna try and use it too. He picks his timing perfectly. Oh man, he's sowing so much chaos in the Astralis ranks. So much so that Saw are about to walk out B, and Mutir's selling this one-man fake. Whole real estate sold. Just sign the deal here, Astralis.
Yeah, the boat's sinking. Gotta hold your breath. Gotta clear out Roman. Otherwise, this one is gonna be done for Roman. It's all up to Mr. Oh, he's got no clue. That's round over. Surely. It's just a save for Glaive. You just drowned.
Tech 9s have done it.
Yeah. Gotta love it. I mean, this is the round that you would put your money on the Astralis to win, right? And this is the round that Soul wins. And those are the rounds that can just turn around the entire game and the tempo of how everything's going, right? Astralis get a really good start once again. They pick up the pistol. They get the conversions for the second half. Yeah, they did that on the T side, but the difference was on the T side, they were actually able to pick up the first buy round and then the second one, which was a bit of a half buy again for Soul. Here, though, Soul not only get a round early on, but it's even with the pistols. It wasn't even a full buy, right? It's just a couple Tech 9s, and they make Astralis work for it. A couple really good shots from the scout to start things off, a Digo to follow up. It was just crazy scenes there.
Double digits rolling here for Saw as they do take the lead. We do get to see the AWP, the double ops out of Astralis on this one.
Massive investment.
A real first look here at the Astralis defense, and we are going to see a push up middle. These shots going out towards long, but we see Blame F in a very risky position with Christo holding his lower tunnels.
I'm not sure if Story actually seen him. He went for the jump spot. They seem to have an idea. Christo in a really good position. Needs to get at least one. A massive HE towards top middle. It's going to do so much damage. And now they're going to fall back.
They're going to break apart the setup. They've already done their job here by baiting out that utility for now. Will Saw have to work with a couple of smokes, a cobbling of flashes. It's not really enough to fight for map control, and Astralis have... Oh, this is looking good.
Yeah, that's looking great for Astralis. They have the setup towards long. Xipix is just going to bait them in. Blame have just been playing the rotation so far on the CT side. There's no reason to expect him to be there.
Yeah, Xipix, this is just an incredible position as well. They start to move out, and the bait has been set. Now Blame F begins to activate. Double kill for him with Xipix together. It's such a wonderful setup and a great read from Astralis. 2 more players on the plate here for Xipix. He will get finished off, but with 30 seconds left on the clock, there are no room for errors.
Yeah, that setup was absolutely impeccable there. Justin Story now left in a 2 versus 3. The flash is in. Glaive doesn't really need to pick up that fight. He can just hold the line. Look at the time. It's already running low.
Just has a single smoke. He could use that to cross, but it looks like he wants to fight. And Glaive won't be missing that shot. 10 seconds. Time to save the op. And Astralis are going to go neck and neck again.
Yeah, it was just the double AWP holding the line. That was a great call from Astralis, right? They were absolutely ready for that play. It's just a brilliant move from Blame F to get himself into the angle. And actually, Zip misses the first shot. So Blame F getting the first kill enables him to get a kill as well. That was just a great round from Astralis. Really important that they were able to bounce back after how the previous round went, right? You can see a lot of teams actually getting out of their tempo and being really devastated after losing a round against the Pistols, but Astralis, they managed to keep their calm here and actually bait out a timeout coming in from the Soul guys. Now, obviously, they have Arky, a really capable coach, a really capable player as well. And it's always nice when, you know, your coach has had some previous and quite recent experience playing inside of the server. Kind of gives you another perspective to what's going on, and he's known some of those players for a long time. You got to feel like they have a really nice relationship going on. A lot of cohesion. Still though, Astralis looking solid on the buy rounds. Well, against the buy rounds.
All right, out towards long, Saw. Fast play, Flame F. Dinked, but no, it's a double kill. Christo, though, does have the fallback. We're going to need a big play out of him to keep this round stable for Astralis. He will have Mr. next to him, and he will be set up, boosted up on towards the site. He does have Story to contend with inside of Pit. If he wants to look for a fight, he's going to have to compete with one of Portugal's best oppers in these past couple of years.
Yeah, there's so much
Swing in the site. Christo just up and above, just above the angle right now. Don't think he's going to face this one though, Ted.
No, there's so much utility on the T side as well. They can just isolate it. They can smoke off towards CT. They have a flash. They have a couple of Molotovs. They can force the Oper out of the angle and Story. He can just hold the line here.
Yeah, and limiting what Christo can do. And, oh, missed the shot, though.
Oh.
That gives Christo an angle. That's a great shot. On towards the site. In a pressure situation, Christo is going to deliver. But just his walk up towards Cat. It could be impactful, but hey, Christo's offing, man. It's starting to ring true, and Story is going to back away. Christo has found a 3-piece, and Astralis have taken the lead.
Yeah, you like his opening now, don't you? Yeah.
I speak too soon.
Yeah, it was a great round from Christo. I mean, once again, you can make the point about, you know, Story missing that shot, because if he lands it, this is a really good round for Soul. And the bait out still works out, right? I mean, they get up close. He's just posted on the angle, hoping that Christo's going to walk into him. This is exactly what happens, but the smoke makes it, well, really confusing there. It was a little bit discombobulating. Him missing that shot, it enables Christo to shut down the first player. And obviously that unlocked the possibility of the rifles. coming into play. Crystal with a triple kill in the round in the end of it. He's actually picked up, what, 2 triple kills now throughout this half? Even though he's on only 9 kills. He single-handedly won them 2 rounds.
Yeah, that is certainly impact for sure for Cristo.
Yeah, it's just pure impact. No kills around.
It's proving himself, honestly. I think for people who have watched the scene for a while, some weren't really impressed with his performance on North, myself included, evidently.
Well, North was, at this point, I feel like the entire team was just a sinking ship when he joined, so it was kind of tough to, you know, make a name for yourself in a team that a lot of people were struggling in.
For sure. On a similar note, though, he can't have his moments, and hey, delivering here against a tough Saw opponent is certainly reasonable. And he's going to make his way out towards Goose and post on up. He has something to say for the Counter-Strike community for sure.
Yeah. Astralis once again just letting middle completely open, and they're going to focus on the bomb sides. Glaive gets aggressive towards tunnels. Doesn't really want to overstep the mark, though. But look at Zip. He's found a godlike timing. He knows exactly what's going on. They have the information, but Zip, he needs to be really quick with this one. The B split is on play.
Oh, Mister, though, is doing some great work from the car position. And then Glaive's opping is great as well. Mister and Glaive, a terrifying duo on this B site, and that's a lockdown. That is 12 for Astralis, and they start to take control of the game.
Yeah, gives you some mages can do pre-flashbacks, doesn't it? Great stuff towards the B bomb site. It's a clean round as well from Astralis. They don't lose a single member, and that one looked quite dangerous. I mean, yeah, okay, you had all the information in the world, but in the end of the day, even though you did know what the play was, it was all down to Mr. and Glaive to hold on, and hell, they did. Another round with the pistols, and maybe the first B send coming in here from the Iberian side.
Oh, jumping through the smoke. Oh, Blame! Oh my goodness, it's a mowdown. Absolutely. Blame F has just found a triple. Make it 4 from the back of the site. Astralis utterly prepared for that kind of play. And now they're starting to laugh. They're starting to giggle. They're starting to feel this game in their palm of their hands right now. 13-10.
Yeah, when you see Blame F smiling, you know that things are going right for Astralis. And now they've started to look a lot better, right? I mean, Blame is up to 24-13 just like that. Crystal's finding some impact. Zip, Mr. Glaive, all of them having their good moments. Another buy round coming in for So, but you gotta feel like if they lose this one, they're pretty much out of the game, right?
Oh, okay. Glaive on the AWP is providing some serious problems right now for Saw. Gutierrez down to 23 early on. We're gonna try for some wall bangs here, Glaive. Would you like the style on them?
Well, he's the classic guy. You know, he likes being efficient. Yeah. Unless he's got the scout. Then he's
That's the Astralis way. Never waste a single nade, a single bullet.
Yeah, old school stuff. A really important round for So, though. Utility still of plenty. They came out of a pretty successful and, well, solid take here. One of the 2 bomb sites looks like is going to be another short take. Bomb slowly starting to make its way back towards long, and once again Zip is going to get tested. Multi-kill potential needs to provide. There's one.
Wow.
He actually has a smoke. That's going to delay them for so much longer. They need to either wait this one out and they're going to be running the clock thin, or just run through it.
And the way Zip's been looking, I wouldn't want to run through it, but they're going to be forced to. They actually do. And Zipix,
Cristo has no clue.
Oh, no. Cristo's just out in the open. They didn't realize that was even a possibility. They still make 2 kills out of it, though. Blame F was able to hold down the cat side, and now all he needs to do is focus on long. And it's... Oh, he runs out of ammo. Oh, no. This is getting very odd. Has to go to the P250 as they cross out towards the site, but Mister is trying to provide support, and he will help out just fine. Astralis to 14. It gets a bit weird with Cristo out in the open, but saved by Blame, saved by Mister, doing great work.
Yeah, they assumed that long was clear after Zip is getting the first kill and not spotting a second player there. You know, he actually gets a kill on the nade, falling back. Even though both him and Cristo fall down, he actually tossed the nade towards short, and I think that finished off one of the 2 players. That was just a great hold once again from Astralis, even though it went a little bit south there for a second. They do manage to convert.
Saw's in desperation mode. They're trying to Tech 9 rush up towards Catwalk, and BlameF gets all that information. Let's see it, Christo. Jiggle peek on the line. Great shot, fast on it as well. And is able to actually reposition himself. Gutierrez tries to cross out towards middle, not getting away with that. Christo not quite hitting that shot. They're going to continue to progress forward. It puts it on to Zipek, and he goes down. Christo, though, does hit the shot, the difficult one, onto you jerks. It just leaves one Roman in a 1v3.
Yeah, that would be a massive clutch to pull off in a moment like that. And they've actually given him a lot of space and respect in the clutch. This is the right approach. They have one player holding his back, though, and that's going to be Clay from the AWP. He should have this one in the back, and indeed he will. 15 for Astralis, 5 consecutive map points here for the Danes in their first game here at the Elisa Masters Espoo 2022.
You know, some impactful opping from Christo down the stretch. I'll have to give him that for sure. Of course, we'll have to see how it performs later today, but so far the CT side opping performance has not been bad from the man who is filling Device's shoes.
Yeah, he was 3 and 12 in the end of the first half, I believe. So that makes him what? That makes him 8 and 3.
Hey, alrighty.
9 and 3 the second half. That was great.
4v4 though, as Jerks does snag Zipex out towards long. But double off still very much in play, and Mr. here on the site. They will begin to push on through, but on the edge of the smoke, not respecting it, is just finding the kill. BlameF is in rotation though at the window side, swings out, gets the kill, gets away, and even he wants to go back in, but Roman will shut him down on that AWP. But Christo drops down U-Jerks in middle, cutting that
that's
rotate off, but this is so massive from Mutiris out and finding that kill onto Glaive. It's Christo, a 1v2 to close. If anything, to prove the doubters wrong, it'd be this, but Roman holding it with an AWP. Saw stay alive on Dust 2 for a bit longer.
Yeah, flashes himself a little bit there. Mr. caught off guard by the play. I think it was Mutiris, the person that just walked inside of the Molotov. That was a great play towards the B-bomb side. He just heard the spam. He knew that he's caught a bit of a timing. So I'll stay alive here for just a little bit longer. And actually, the foundation of Astralis in terms of the finances isn't that great. So maybe if So are able to pick up a couple more rounds, they could be resetting that Danish economy and potentially having something to say about that map. It's still a long road, though. You got to win 4 rounds in a row. And it hasn't been easy so far for you on the T side.
All right, Christo, solo opping long. Can he do it here? Has to back away. I like him taking the forward face. But no connection on the shot. Saw still fighting to stay in this one.
Yeah, Christo just firing a couple warning shots from the back of the side. Doesn't really want to get into a fight. You can see that the idea behind this is Astralis giving enough time to their teammates towards the tunnels to aggress and clear it out. But Justice is going to hear all of that. In fact, he doesn't. He pulls out a nade. Glaives is going to take him down off guard. Zipix finds another kill towards middle. And now they need to go.
It's wonderful. It's a great strategy. And on the cross, Christo, so fast on the shot. Walking inside the smoke, trying to make a play. It's Roman, but it's looking like Astralis are going to pick up their first BO1 of the day. Saw falling down potentially to that 0 and 2 bracket. They have a gauntlet to run for the rest of the group stage here. There's Roman on the cross, hunting for a 1v4. Now spotted out, now down to 20. And now even getting flanked out. They know exactly where he is, but he's getting flanked by Mr. who will close out the map. Astralis on the debut will clean up 16-11.
Yeah, 2 academy teams in the roster doesn't really make a difference. BlameF still manages to drop 27 kills. Christo, after a really shaky start on the T side at 3 and 12, manages to end the map on 12 kills in the end with a really good recovery there on the defense. And overall, I feel like Astralis looked quite solid, you know. So once again, being able to put on a pretty decent fight, but no, it was supposed to be the Danes. And well, now I guess all that's left is just to see how they do against the Bad News Eagles.
Yeah, that CT side was all over Saw, all things said. They had the setups everywhere they went. And while there were some moments, for sure, from Saw on their own CT side with some good setup, it was just Astralis pulling it off more consistently at that. And also some great rounds out of BlameF. I think we're just getting his expected performance at this rate. This was excellent.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal from the side of Astralis, as we're going to be breaking it down in just a couple seconds, but they're going to be happy with this result.
Okay.
Hopefully it does not.
And we're back over to us.
It's
Here
Astralis
on the desk.
It's Blame
But yeah,
F,
and then it's a
what
team
great
effort. I
performance
think
out of
it's
Astralis
Zipex
overall.
in
Of course, it's
in
Astralis.
particular. I'll
It's
put my
Blame F,
highlight
and
on
then it's
him.
a team effort.
He had
I
some
think
good
Zipex
impacts
on
in
that
particular.
T
I'll put
side
my
and
highlight on
generally
him. He had
said
some good
he's
impact
continuing,
on
you know,
that
his
T side,
more or less
and
solid
generally
form that we've
said
been seeing
he's
from him
continuing, you know,
throughout-
his more or less solid form that we've been seeing from him throughout the later end of this year.
Yeah, he's been really solid. You know, some of those pushes towards long were really well timed. Astralis did look kind of good in this matchup. Now, obviously, for all of you at home, there is the quick stand-in. I'm not sure if the 500 game has ended. Apparently, it has.
I think it has.
Yeah, Fnatic did manage to take the better of 500. So, still, the Bulgarians are going to be claiming that top spot because they're the only team that I think has played 2 games. But we have Fnatic winning their first one. Astralis and BNE currently sitting on 1 victory after only 1 game. Complexity, unfortunately for them, are going to be bottom alongside. I think that's a little bit wrong. Soul should be bottom, but it's the 2 of Soul and Complexity. That's the point we're trying to make here.
For sure. We have a couple other games coming down the stretch because it's non-stop BO1s
Never know who-
today as we do, you see, BNE versus Astralis.
Make sure he doesn't
That
get
will be
caught off guard.
taking
He does get one,
away
gets onto
next
that low
here
key player,
on
so it
this
doesn't-
stream
it
as
doesn't- in my opinion,
soon
it doesn't
as
have the same
possible.
weight. It's
Astralis
like X
looking
Five
solid.
fallen, but he's done
BNE
it for
though,
a 1-for-1 trade on
still in
someone
good
that was
form as
100
well
HP.
as we saw
They've
them
also
drop
taken
Saw. That'll
an
be a
immense
really
amount of
interesting
space
game
here.
to go ahead and tune on into.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you tune in because we're going to be heading into a short, quick break, and we're going to be right back in just a couple of minutes to see if Astralis are going to be able to move into that 2-0 or if it's going to be the bad news Seagulls once again reigning superior.
We have a solution for you.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Katsokaa kuinka silvankuroi saittia samalla kun Henu kaataa aivan täydellisen kupillisen. Ei sinne kuppiin kyllä enempää mahdu. Myltsillä on tähtäin kohdallaan. Viimeisenkin tulis osua, ja osuuhan se.
On se Myltsi vaan tarkka. Vielä jaksaa painaa jalkaa toisen eteen. Hupi hupi!
Hyvä tempo päällä pojilla.
Podi yrittää pitää vielä tiiminsä pinnalla. 1 vastaan 2. Pommi on jo pläntähtynä. Podi löytää ensimmäisen saitilta. Sitten hakee vielä sitä viimeistä. Tän ensimmäisen kudin täytyy osua. Nyt ei virheitä saa tehdä. Podi tiputtaa vielä luolaan viimeisen.
Löytää sieltä pimeästä se viimeisen pelaajan. Hakee vielä sen pommin savuista. Podi otas kohtaa todella etevä hakemaan. Ne kaikki tarvitsevat trackit.
Eiköhän tää riitä. Tulkaas nyt.
Welcome back to the Elisa Masters Espoo here, going down in Finland on LAN right here, right now. Group stage still going on, Group B, and then we're moving on to a third best of one of the day. Astralis just picked up their win over Saw, and now they're facing the bad news Eagles. Ted, what's good?
Well, I can tell you what's good. Well, nothing's good for Saw. They played 2 really close games, but unfortunately for them, they're after 2 losses, and well, at least we're going to get to watch the game of the victors here. Both Astralis and Bad News Eagles being able to get their Ws. I guess it's safe to say that B&E had a bit of a tougher time than Astralis, right? Astralis did manage to control the game quite nicely, even though obviously there was that point of the first half on Dust 2 where Seoul did have that crazy streak of winning, I think, 9 out of 10 rounds, but Astralis were still able to kind of keep it under control and under a lock and key. For B&E, things were a little bit tougher. They posted only 5 rounds on the CT side of their engine and did manage to come back on the T side, but here we are, Group B trying to, or at least starting to shape up just a little bit. Fnatic picking up their first win as well. Obviously, if you want to catch them, you can go over towards the B stream where they're going to be facing Complexity simultaneously with the B&E game and Astralis game going on here at the A stream.
Yeah, and this matchup brings a whole new set of storylines for themselves. B&E kind of taking that going deep in towards the major, and I feel like Astralis kind of missed out on that train, and they could have been in that very same spot. Astralis have been on the sideline. They make big roster moves. They show up here, and they deliver a good first best of one. But now you're taking these 2 completely clashing styles of Counter-Strike. We know Astralis as the methodical unit, and we know B&E playing that wild style of Counter-Strike. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be a super interesting, to use a complicated word, dichotomy between these 2 teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight and a half for sure. I mean, last time those 2 faced off against each other, it was everything just went in favor of B&E. Astralis obviously now playing with a bit of a changed lineup for those of you that might have missed the previous game. Unfortunately for them, Device is not quite able to participate in this one. As they put it, he's not feeling too ready to go into the server right now, not from an individual point of view, but more of a, team perspective. He hasn't really played any officials in 2022, so you can kind of relate to that and understand what's going through his mind there. Christo is standing in, and to be fair, he had a bit of a slower start on that map number 1, but he was still able to recover into that CT side quite nicely. I believe he ended the first half on 2 and 13, and he did manage to get, I think, 9 or 10 kills during that second half, which was kind of impressive for him. Had a lot of impactful rounds, a lot of multi-kill rounds. BlameF obviously dropping this 27 bomb was something that we're all accustomed to at this point. But on the other side, we have the B&E squad that has been one of the most exciting teams to watch in recent history in the world of CSGO.
Oh my gosh, as they play the most entertaining Counter-Strike, they don't save like James. They are the anti-outsiders. I guess is it? Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Furia.
Yeah, I know, right? They really do channel the most aggressive nature of Counter-Strike you can see. They are smoke pushers. They are aggressive. They are explosive. That is everything you can do to frame B&E. But the thing is for Astralis, they are deadly consistent. And look at your head-to-head. On the man on your right has been exactly that.
Yeah, BlameF, I'd say the best without a doubt the best player on the side of Astralis, one of the best players in the world. Even though his teams haven't really been able to get some massive success in terms of getting to finals, winning tournaments, and all of that, he's consistently been one of the best riflers we have in the entire world, in the entire scene. And on the other side, we have a Flatro, which obviously the easiest point would have been speak about Synopsy and his crazy numbers and all of that, but Flatro has actually been really, really solid every single time he's faced off against Astralis. And, he has been one of the people for the big games, right? Even at the major, when you look at people struggling a little bit towards the second stage and the legend stage for the BNE, Flatro was always the man for the big moments. And that's why I wanted to highlight him. I feel like he gets, well, I'm not sure if he gets really overlooked, because I feel like a lot of people give a lot of praise to Synopsy, to Regon, to GX, but Flatro is actually doing so much on the side of BNE, and I feel like it's really hard to actually only underline one and kind of speak about only one of the individuals on the side of Bad News Eagles, because as if in Astralis, we can actually make a point about, Blamev being one level above his teammates, at least individually, right, in terms of firepower. On the side of BNE, you have so many people that are able to crunch those numbers, and that's why it's so tough to take them down, right? Because let's say in the previous game that we had, it was Synopsy. It wasn't quite Flatro, but it was Synopsy to step up against the side of Soul and kind of help everybody else to wake up a little bit. And I feel like everyone in this team is capable to do something like that. I've really liked what we've seen. Another thing that we could put out there is the fact that BNE have been playing a lot more structured in recent history as well. Something again that we did mention before their first game.
I mean, they're still an individualistic team. Let's not get that wrong. But still, they've added some layers to their gameplay. It isn't just headshots galore for this team no more. It still is in a way, but they've evolved as a team since Antwerp, since Rio. And taking their first game so far today, it was a bit rocky against Saw. That's why I gave Saw a bit of credit before their game against Astralis. But it was particularly a rough game out of one Flatro. Not that he wasn't delivering. I think Saw just had a good read on him. So if Astralis can replicate that kind of form, which I think Astralis are certainly the team to break out the pen and paper and talk all about player tendencies. If Flatro gets found out again, this could be a serious problem.
Yeah, it could be a serious problem. But speaking about a serious problem, well, a bad map could be a serious problem for one of those teams. So we're going to get into the vetoes straight away. And initial thoughts, I feel like Ancient is always going to be a really fair ground for both of these teams. But we saw what happened last time around when those two faced off on Ancient. It was a 16-3 victory for Bad News Eagles. That one took place at the RMR. And I had the chance to watch that game. I watched every single second of it. I had no clue what was going on. It was just BNE running over them, and it was against Synopsy, right? He's a crazy man on that map. I think statistically he's their best player on Ancient for sure. In the past 3 months, I'm not sure about before that, but past 3 months, 100%. And I feel like if you're Bad News Eagles, you'd ideally want to go back to that Ancient. If you're Astralis, though, you might be thinking about a little bit of a switch up and maybe a cheeky Inferno in there.
Yeah, BNE get to steer the map pool here, so they'll be taking away the nuke overpass, and there's a couple of maps that they can take out. They kind of have a ballpark open to them against Astralis, so there are some serious opportunities here. We do see Astralis actually take out the Ancient. They don't want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. You want this one out of the way. And now we're left, if I'm not mistaken, we're left with Dust to Mirage and Inferno. So we have the classic Sin still in the veto. And now the question is, where do Bad News Eagles really want to go? I feel like individually, you're playing up to a really high level right now. And Mirage could be an option. Apparently, Astralis don't really want to go for a Dust 2 anymore. So we're going to be in between Mirage and Inferno. Inferno is normally an all right map for the Eagles, but I feel like, again, from the individual point of view, you'd want to have the Mirage. You'd want to have the Pug galore there. Knowing that Astralis are playing with two stand-ins as well. Seeing that Crystal was a little bit lackey on that first map, I guess you could say. Confidence wasn't up there maybe, especially on the TE side. Mr. obviously did a good job, but individually, if you compare those two teams, the question is, will Blamev be able to solo carry his way through the Bad News Eagles? Well, I'd say if he's all alone, chances aren't quite big, but maybe there's someone on the side of Astralis that's going to be able to help him out.
Yeah, I think I mean, there were signs of it as well. Glaive's offing was looking pretty solid. Zipex in general had a great T side lurking out towards long as well. Without setup on his own, he was getting the job done a lot of the time.
Yeah, it felt like the communication was on point for Astralis. But speaking about Astralis and Bad News Eagles, we're going to get through the key points real quick because, the game is going to start really, really soon. And we won't actually have time to go through these this time around. But there's a lot of interesting things to speak about, right? Because those two teams, they have some kind of history going against each other. We already mentioned that Ancient game. And Bad News Eagles, they always look quite confident going into those games against Astralis. I feel like this again has to do a lot with individually, as you put it. I think you put it just headshot galore. Going into a game like that, that was the perfect example, that previous Ancient match that they played, right? Even though we praised BNE for being able to put in some more structure in some of those plays or some of their games, they didn't really need to do that against Astralis. They were just able to run over them, headshot after headshot, wild play after wild play, and Astralis didn't seem to have an answer for that.
Yeah, it seems like Bad News Eagles seem to level up when they play against some of the higher opposition in the zone and on land as well. So, I mean, if they can replicate what they just did to them back at the RMR, then that basically assisted in taking Astralis out of major contention. That would be a start here, but of course, it's a different map. What's your next point here, Ted?
Well, I guess the next thing that we can mention is the Blame F factor. I mean, we touched upon it a little bit. I feel like he is the winning condition, especially in a game like that, right? Even if you're tactically really well rounded, even if Zip is doing his job, even if Glaive is looking all right, even if Christo is delivering on the AWP, even if Mister is doing well in the server, you can't best the Bad News Eagles if you don't have, well, a cheeky biscuit that can drop 35 kills. Or should I say a cheeky mountain in that scenario. Blame F needs to go absolutely huge in the server.
Yeah, I mean, Blame, even then, like, his impact statistic is through the roof for this Astralis camp. I mean, he's been a win condition. I actually want to bring up a stat that I love when I talk about Blame F, and that is when he gets the first kill, Astralis win 90% of their rounds. That is higher. That is number one out of all players within the top 30. Yeah. That is Blame F. Call him bait F all you want. When he finds the opening, it is something that Astralis absolutely take to the house and really do convert upon. Blame F is a strong asset.
Yeah, he is. And he will have to be a really strong asset in this game if they want to get the victory. But in the end of the day, this is always going to be a really tough matchup, right? And this is our final key point. It's not as much as a key point, whether it's like just the conclusion, right? I mean, both these teams are looking to get a second victory, and we know in such a long day, this is something that we actually discussed yesterday in the first day of the group stage. When you have 5 BO1s that you want to play in a single day, that's a really long one, right? Especially if you don't have them, straight out the back, you play the first 5 games. Sometimes you gotta wait. Sometimes your day is going to go up to 10, 11, 12 hours, 13 hours. It was a 14-hour day yesterday. So imagine if you're Astralis or BNE and you need to play your game or your elimination game that's going to either send you to the playoffs or send you home as the last game of the day, approximately 16, 17 hours after you've woken up. You don't want that happening, right? Towards the latter stages of the day, you want to make sure that you're a little bit more relaxed. You've already guaranteed your spot in the next day and tomorrow into the day after that if you get, obviously, the first spot in the group. So I feel like both teams right now just want to get onto a good 2-0 start.
Yeah, and that would be super optimal, putting yourself in prime position to get yourself into playoffs. Basically, a single best of 3 of a positive win rate will typically get you there over the line to make it into playoffs, with a couple of exceptions here and there. So this would be a huge step in the right direction, especially for two teams that, when you look at this initial seeding of the group, these are teams that are in the top 3. Maybe you could realistically put Astralis in there, but you're looking also at Bad News Eagles as well as Fnatic to perhaps be in that top 3, and you have a couple of challengers down below.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we've seen some really good stuff from Seoul. Obviously, 500 have shown some great gameplay, beating Complexity, being able to take off 11 rounds out of Fnatic. But I feel like at this point, both Bad News Eagles and Astralis have realized that, Fnatic being the only playoff major team in this entire tournament, and we got to emphasize on that. they're a little bit of a different cherry, right? I mean, they're going to be a different breed. So you don't really want to let that Fnatic game have too much impact. You might be able to beat them. It's still a BO1, right? It's not the BO3. And I'd say that even though Fnatic, in my eyes, is right now, speaking about, momentum and current form, the best team in this group, you can still get away with a win against them in the BO1 format. You still don't really want it to get down to the wire, do you?
Yeah, that's well, yeah. Again, you just want to give yourself that breath of fresh air. And for Astralis, who are in the midst of their debut, that could be exactly what they need to really get the ball rolling and really start to improve on their gameplay. So winning this is, breathing room. You can make a couple of hiccups here and there against, and you're taking down some of the better teams in this group as well. Of course, there's still Fnatic and complexity for these teams to play off against, but still, getting one leg up, being able to make a mistake is, Astralis are not a perfect team going into this event. We know that without Device, with a couple of academy players that they've brought in just to fill the gaps for now, Astralis, they need this.
Yeah. Okay, we just got information, ladies and gents, for those of you that might be wondering. We are getting slightly delayed because apparently the players, or rather the teams, have some slight microphone issues in terms of, one of the coaches. So we'll have to wait it out a little bit longer, but we should be good to go any moment now. But yeah, I feel like for Astralis being, regarded as, I'd say, a younger team in that aspect of, having Crystal and Mister in this game, momentum is going to play out a big role, right? I mean, we saw what happened and how Astralis were playing towards the latter stages of Dust 2 as soon as, BlameF starts smiling, starts pumping them up. We spoke about the fact that he's a real hype guy in this lineup. When things are going well, he's going to be the one cheering everybody else up. He's kind of like the Cadian, like the apex of Astralis in a way, right? He's going to be the one, if that was a gym, he's going to be the one to, start screaming when you hit your PB on the bench press, right? He's that guy. So in the end of the day, you want to get onto a good start. You get the first 2 wins out of the window, and you got to feel like when they have 2 victories, well, then Christo is going to start playing without a lot of pressure. Mister, I feel like at this point, he's starting to get accustomed to that after the RMR, right? I feel like his good performance there showed that he's not really phased by pressure all that much. But especially for Crystal right now, I feel like, the Astralis talent team, they picked up a new Oper there. So we don't really know if he's actually going to go back into the team and, continue playing for them. He might actually move on, right? We've seen that happen. Well, actually, I want to correct myself. They didn't. He was the replacement of Breezer. But we've seen a lot of those Astralis talent members in the past couple months, moving forward to other projects. Breezer was a really good example. The entire ex-Astralis talent lineup, actually, bar Outex, moved forward. And, for Crystal, this could be a really good chance of, saying, maybe not to the tier 1 teams, but to some tier 2, tier 3 organizations, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to play some serious CS. And after this Academy League stint is over for me, I'm ready to get picked up by a serious organization.
Yeah, I mean, you can grow as a player. Is the biggest thing here for Christo, who's been bouncing around, the tier 2 areas and is really trying to find a slot, find a home, and kind of advertise that, yeah, I have improved since the online days. And a good performance here. I mean, we've seen so many stand-in performances turn players' careers around, and that could be Christo here, maybe landing himself a new gig. Not just with Astralis talent, but it could be some other team. We'll see how his performance progresses throughout this event. Take, for example, Refresh's performance. This was back way 2018, but he stood in for Cloud9. No one knew who he was, and now he's a Danish staple.
Oh, come on.
Now
people knew who he was. He played on Optic. Don't disrespect MSL like that.
That was before Optic.
Was it when he was standing in for Cloud9? I'm a little bit okay. I might be a little bit wasted in the story time of it. I think you were right. But yeah, I guess chances like that don't come twice in life. I mean, especially for Crystal, that a lot of people actually called washed up after his time on North, right? Because you kind of you were playing on AGF beforehand. You get picked up by the second biggest Danish organization and the second best team at the time as well. I think Heroic weren't really up to the level of North back then, or they were around the same for sure. And then you get downgraded once again to that AGF lineup. So a lot of people actually thought that Crystal won't really be able to, bounce back. But maybe this is the chance that he's been waiting for. And we're getting a word, ladies and gents, that we're ready to jump straight into the server to see how this one goes.
Let's go ahead and hop on into it. And welcome back. Pistol round on the way. We land ourselves on Mirage, finally. Enough for the podcast and the storytelling. We're about to get a B rush, aren't we?
Well, more of a B pop. But Glaive, oh, he's going to get up close and personal with the Julies. Okay, this one either goes really well for Glaive or horribly wrong.
There's no in between for the dual Beretta, so let's see it. Horribly wrong. It's looking more likely, but he turns it around.
Great.
He turns it to a double kill somehow. Exactly right there, Ted. As now Zipex dancing around the site. He does get cleaned up by Rigon, but the kills do come through. Christo cleans it up, and madness there for Glaive, but he gets it down the stretch.
Yeah, apparently there was a third option.
In between, I guess?
Yeah, it was just horribly great for him. I mean, he whiffed pretty much everything. The flash was up his face, still manages to get a double kill. This was massive from Glaive. Look at that. That was so discombobulating there. Still gets away with a couple. Astralis with heavy investment going on for the Force. A lot of M4s in the mix. Only one MP9 in the hands of Zip. BNE, though, in true BNE fashion, they're going to go for the D-Eagles. Synopsy tries to go for an early peek. Doesn't really find anything there. Well, that's the Mirage galore for Bad News Eagles. Obviously, you're playing a map that gives you a lot of possibilities for those cheeky pistols to find something.
Depends on the day, but sometimes those Eagles can just turn themselves into AKs. You never know. But this stay is okay. There you go. That's the BNE Deagle right there. Mr. Down on the site does have help in the form of Zipex, so it is a good setup. He even gets himself underneath Balcony, and that will be a cleanup kill on Rigon. And so this should be finished off nicely. I say should.
Yeah. Want to hear something crazy, by the way?
Sure.
We spoke about that ancient game that BNE won 16-3 against Astralis at the RMR, right? Synopsy finished that one on 28-7, 2.36 rating.
Whoa, yeah. My goodness.
Flatroll was on 25-8. And he was not the best player in the server.
Somehow.
Somehow
that's how it works.
Yeah. You can only catch that on BNE TV.
This one is looking a bit better from Astralis, all things said. It's not I don't think we're going to get a 16-3 out of this one here, Ted. I think we're seeing a much more competitive Astralis today with the pistol and the conversion.
Yeah, a different map as well. I mean, that could simplify things and make it a little bit easier for Astralis as well. It's going to get BlameF a lot more comfortable. Individually, he can have a better performance. A bit of a technical timeout here as we're sorting out some issues. We hope that everything's going to be all right. But going back in history a little bit in terms of, those two teams in the map that we're watching right now. For Astralis, actually, Mirage did used to be quite a solid one for some time. Yeah, they did lose their last game, which was against Forza. It was at the RMR. They lost that one 14-16. Before that, though, they had 3 consecutive wins that were against Ents, Illuminar, and Los Cucutos. And there's a couple of Vitality and OG victories in the mix as well, which were at the Blast group. So it actually hasn't been an awful map. I think statistically they're second best after Inferno, and it's leveled up with Dust 2. Both on 71% win rate, if I'm not mistaken. And then you look at the BNE camp, it's kind of like a 50-50 fiesta for them. If they're feeling it on the day, they're going to be really good. We saw that against FaZe Clan at the major. They won that Mirage 22-20. That was an absolutely crazy game. They did manage to take down Gamer Legion at the major as well. It was a 16-7. And before that, we actually had a couple, fairly disturbing results for them, and one of them was actually at the Elisa Invitational, right? They did lose to Tai Lu. It was a 13-16, and before that, in another game that they did win in the series, but still lost on that map. It was against Paloma. But no, that's my mistake. That wasn't Elisa Invitational. That was ESL Challenger. But yeah, lost to Paloma 14-16.
Yeah, results have always been over the place. I think for BNE, there's been some memes thrown around, BNE versus,
they're a really wild
versus tier 1, and then BNE versus everyone else online.
Yeah. But they've been a long team. I think this is something really good, right? We touched upon that before the start of game number 1. You'd expect those guys to be a lot better online, but well, history shows that it doesn't really phase them. I mean, they can play on a stage and be as good, if not even better. And it feels like it just pumps them up. I feel like that's because they're really emotional, and you know, when things go well for them, when they're together, they kind of form that bond. And it feels like everyone's just better when they're surrounded by their teammates, if that makes any sense. They're just a big family.
Yeah. For those wondering what the technical timeout is about, it's Coach Headset. They're trying to swap things out and get things fixed on site.
Yeah. By the way, we can run another survey in chat while we're doing that. This is something GK I love doing from time to time, and you know,
all right.
As we had a Dust 2 prior to that, and I know a lot of you guys in chat might not like Dust 2 all that much. I actually wanted to ask you, if you were to remove one map, which map would you remove? And if you were to replace it with another, which one would you put in? What would you say, Fi?
Now, I might be hating the map that we're currently playing on. Now, I'm fine with watching Mirage, but I just don't like playing Mirage. Okay. I'm not a pugger, all right? I'm a tactician. Would I remove it?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if I'm a Valve developer, I can't remove Vertigo because it's just too new of a map. That just
you can't. No. Listen. You can do whatever you want.
I'm trying to be realistic here. You see, I'm being too realistic.
Well, define new. It's been a couple years now.
Yeah, it's actually weird to think that Vertigo got retrained. What is that now? 3 years? Wait, it's been 3 years since the Berlin Major. That is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just having an epiphany right now. Yeah, it's actually been that long since Vertigo's been out of the game. I guess you could take out Vertigo. I've loved the new Tuscan, by the way. I've loved it. Maybe needs a couple more fixes, like to angle management and things like that, but I love the layout.
Yeah. I'm a fan of, you know, bringing something. Well, it's something old but new in the same time for
it's
Tuscan.
Fresh.
Yeah, it's really fresh. I'm a fan of the
graphic style.
Back.
Train is all right. I mean, some people, I find it so funny that people were like super happy when they added Ancient back to the pool, and they're like, finally, we got the most CT-sided map out of the pool. And then they proceeded to probably add one of the most CT-sided maps in Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
I don't know. People around me actually weren't too happy about Train. I mean, I actually got more of a negative reaction out of this. I think people love Train. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that dislike Train, to be fair. It was just a really good map.
You know, when they removed it, I think it was just being broken in the pro meta. I think it was just being found out as like the T side of Train and the outside smokes. It was Kerrigan's Mouse Sports that was really innovating on it a lot back in late 2019, early 2020. That really got that unit some support.
Did you see Glaive's reaction there? He got really surprised for a second.
Oh, I wasn't. Look, man, I'm in my own thoughts right now.
You're in your own
stories. I got an arsenal of Counter-Strike thoughts to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You bring me back in time. I mean, Kerrigan on mouse. And
remember that
seems really recent to me as well. Like I'd say bringing back in time is just Kerrigan just joining FaZe Clan. I think that was for the first time. That was back in time.
Yeah. Transporting back in time. This is the thing about a year ago. Barely anyone knew who Synopsy, Juan Flatro, and the rest of the guys here on who BNE were. I believe they were playing under the Blink banner.
Yeah, they were playing under Blink, and you know, I'd say that they were well known, but because of FPL, right? Not because of, you know, their
Rigon especially.
Yeah, Rigon. Well, Rigon joined in that team after that. I think post factum. Initially, they were playing in Blink with a guy called Gulito, who's one of the I'd say he's one of the best players out of the Kosovian region as well. You know, he's still playing under the organization with a couple of different, you know, younger guys. But yeah, it's been a wild ride for those guys. You know, kind of like from zero to hero story.
Let's go. I see hands on the keyboard and the mouse, and we should be going back live in just a couple of moments as we're ready to take this one away. Players lean forward as well. You know it's game time here, Ted.
Yeah, technical difficulties out of the way. 2-0. Astralis did win the pistol and the conversion for those of you that missed it. So now it's eco time. And maybe eco kills time. Ideally, you'd get away with a bomb plant. If you're being...
And that's what they're trying to do. Out Palace they go. Christo snapping on the first, but it's dropped. Whoa. Glocks, hello? Things are getting weird. 2v3. And Juan is somehow inside of jungle. And the bomb on the back of Scenario did not commit out Palace. He can keep moving around, but oh, Zipex. That's a really nice find. Through the murder hole finds Juan, and now Scenario is a tough task ahead of him. He has to have a 1v1 against Zipex, and he has no idea where Zipex is hiding from. I think it's just going to continue the sprint here. Out towards the site. This should be Zipex's all the way. And there it is. 3 zip for Astralis.
Yeah, 3-0, a nice round. Went a little bit out of the way there for a second. Crystal and Blamev going down to the pistols. And, 1 M4 in the hands of Juan Flatro. Still, though, they managed to bounce back. A 3-0 start. Astralis quite good in starting those halves, right? That's their third pistol round victory, and the third, actually, start of a half in which they managed to not only pick up the pistol round, but the convergence as well. They did that in both halves against Seoul earlier on. It's a good bonus to have in BO1 series.
For sure. Oh, Christo. That's a shoulder spotted. And he'll find one. He's been fast on it, that's for sure. Bad News Eagles may be looking to react out towards middle. And the op of...
Oh, failed run boost.
Out middle, but they missed the run boost. They failed it, and it's going to cost them 2 players.
Oh,
that's a nice find, though, from Rigon. On the fallback, Glaive not getting away and keeping Bad News Eagles' head in the game.
Yeah, keeps them in the round completely. It was about to be a 2 versus 4. If Glaive manages to turn that corner, it's pretty much impossible for B&E to walk back into it. Now, they have the bomb. They have 1 minute to work with, and both Rigon and GX are full on HP. Zips pushed all the way into the apartment. So if they actually decide to walk towards short and the B-bomb side, they might get away with a plan. But Mister's aggressive position might actually make Christo start thinking about bouncing back towards that B-bomb site, or at least going for a little bit of a peek towards middle.
Wondering if Zipex heard any sound cues. Christo, he goes up and above on the ticket booth and doesn't see anyone inside of connector. Or towards catwalk, for that matter.
Yeah.
Could be some false information.
They've been so quiet. Zip has no idea. They're going to figure out as the B-bomb side as soon as the bomb goes down, right? They haven't made a single noise, and surely they're going to realize that Zip's aggressive towards apps. They're going to maul him off. There's the confirmation.
Wow, so confident in the play. And extinguish. That nade going nowhere. And GXS even finds Mister across the map, trying to rotate across the A site. But that's a great hold there from Christo, staying patient. Now Rigon, a 1v2, but he knows where the first is, and now Rigon, oh, I love the angle switch up. He goes up and above, and Christo can't flick up for Rigon. A sick 1v2, and Bad News Eagles notch their first.
Yeah, expertly played clutch by Rigon there. That's why you want him to step up. That's the moments you need him. What a great play. Zip wasn't ready for the angle, and after that, the elevated position. The Oper is never going to be ready for a play like that. Great stuff by the Swiss man. There's the second one as well. Christo completely outmaneuvered there, and that was a great call from B&E. That's a 2 versus 4 that they win on the first buy round as well.
Yeah, I mean, being able to bring it back was just Rigon all the way. Glaive, though, wants to take some space, wants to take a frag with them as well, but Rigon is not letting that happen. He's starting this game off with a bang. Not just that round, but maybe keeping it consistent. 2 rounds in a row with impact.
Yeah, welcome to Mirage against Bad News Eagles. You got to deal with that. That's one of the main problems that a lot of teams have facing off against those guys, right? You just get into fights that should be favorable for you. You should be winning them, but you just get an insta headshot. You know what they say. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
All right, let's see this from Mister. Christo at long range. If he hits a Deagle headshot, it helps out Mister, but not quite the connection. Almost the lineup, though. Scenario on 1 point of health. But Blame will finish off one Flatro. There are still opportunities that lie here for Astralis. Is it time to take a risk? Is it time to throw your hat into the ring? Maybe put this 2v3 retake on the plate.
Yeah.
Nade. It sails in. It takes down Scenery. Blame F wins his duel inside a spawn. GX now has all the information he needs, but he's smoked out now. Gets the spot, but no connection. Where'd the op go? Oh, okay, he has it now. Is it high time to save? I think it is. Yeah, no chance on this one.
Yeah, that was such a methodical retake coming in from Blame F and Zip, right? And it's all because Blame manages to get that kill through the smoke onto the Palace player. It becomes a 2 versus 3. The nade from Zip gets the kill. That's the alarm for Blame F to activate himself from CT spawn. And then even the follow-up jiggle from Zip, realizing that the AWP player was alive. Didn't really want to give himself away for free. Fourth round for Astralis. Quite important that they were able to bounce back. Pretty similar to how things went on the CT side of Dust 2 for them, right? I mean, they win the first 3 rounds, then they lose the first buy. Well, the previous time it was just losing to the Pistols, but the whole idea of it is that they were able to bounce back straight away.
Creep up towards middle, but Blame F is sticking inside of Con. He wants to fight. Oh, but maybe not anymore. Molly at third feet. He's out of there. Diving through a couple of smokes and no one's holding for the fallback. That could have been very dangerous there, but nothing gives. Ladder control established. They'll plant the flag.
Yeah, Christo needs to be careful. There's a T player already towards ladder, and he's actually made noise. They've heard him. Scenario knows exactly where Christo resides. Doesn't have anything to flush him out of position with. And actually, BNE, they have only 2 flashes and 1 HE left, 1 minute.
Nice.
Until the end of the round. They need to get this one only by killing Astralis.
And the follow-up, taking back the control, but Blame F could not escape. But there's the smoke. They try to make a move. Glaive just watching it, being patient. The setup is here for Astralis, and that will be a quick 2 for 1. Rigon does fall. And Mr. still playing out towards the default box to be a problem. Making his way out now towards Firebox, helped out by Christo inside of spawn. 20 seconds remaining. He's going to put the emphasis onto Scenery to make the play to try and take this fight versus Christo, who's jiggle peeking and finds the instant headshot. What a shot from Scenery. And surely they know Mr. still here. They both jump at the same time. Mr. needs to stay alive, stop the plant, but he cannot. Now it's Zipex in a 1 versus 2, and GX isn't even going to let the clutch attempt happen. BNE win a sitter.
Oh, what a round that is from BNE. Another one that they shouldn't be winning, right? The first one that they won was a 2 versus 4 conversion. That one is pretty much the same. Again, they just win it in the clutch. They were completely locked out of the round. They had no nades to work with. It was a perfect round from Astralis. They just gave nothing to Bad News Eagles towards middle. And the T spent all their nades towards that part of the map. But still, they managed to make it work in the clutch. Christo and Mister, you gotta feel like they just needed 1 kill combined, but they just couldn't achieve it. Just the classics.
And so now you just poke and prod. You find out where the stack is. 5 players on that B site. And all it takes is for one Flotcher to walk out Palace. I think they've got this one in the bag here, Ted.
Yeah, well, it's just the pistol, so you, for the sake of my heart rate, let Bad News Eagles take it away. It should be theirs. Yeah.
I got plenty of that from my North American Counter-Strike casting. I don't need any of it here.
Oh, by the way,
I got my fair share.
Yeah, you need to post that video that you sent to me during the break in chat.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'll give the link.
I can tell you for sure. People want to see that. That was great. What tournament was it? It was like ECL. Or...
It was Challenger League. Yeah.
Okay, it was Challenger League. ESO Challenger League NA, and that was, guys, believe me, that was great.
That is one of the clips of Counter-Strike that's ever happened, and I don't think I will never experience it again. I don't want to experience it again. And BNE are also just letting that kind of thing happen. Only a single kill goes the way of Blame F towards the later end of it. The fist bumps go out. It's a clean one for BNE. And the question actually here, do Astralis buy back in this?
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
it's messy.
Yeah, it is, but when you think about it, the buy rounds from Astralis actually have been quite successful, right? I mean, you had a 4 versus 2 that you did lose, and then another 3 versus 2 that you did lose that you had to convert absolutely. So in a lot of these rounds, they've actually been able to get really close. Initially, they have the right idea, they have the right play, but it's just the later part of the round where they struggle. So I guess you can justify that, and they don't really want to let Bad News Eagles feel comfortable on their T side, because it's one thing winning the clutches, it's an entirely different thing just letting B&E start building up that momentum and getting consecutive easy dominant rounds on the board. A lot of early mid aggression there for the CT side. Zip is finally going to find a kill towards B. Synopsy is going to get punished. Middle presence still held fairly passively aggressively from Astralis, but B&E looking to change that.
The underpass walk is being held. Every angle being held, and every angle won there for Astralis. Glaive from top middle and Christo inside of Con. And this is a 2v5 that's not looking great here for B&E. Astralis are going to have to make some egregious errors. They're going to have to give B&E the fights, but Astralis are not that type of team to do that. I think that is Astralis branding right there.
Yeah, well, they did it a couple of times so far this game, so now for sure they're going to be really, really diligent with how they approach the end of that round. But yeah, that was great. You know, just picking up a couple favorable fights for them, a couple nice off angles, playing on the contact of each other, which is great work. All started by Zip's kill towards the B-bomb side, obviously. And now Juan Flatro and GX just like to try and find some kills. I assume GX is just going to hold on to the AWP at this point. Flatro can try and find Zip towards the back of the B-bomb side. Maybe cause some chaos there.
This is an annoying off angle to deal with too, because you have to look back and forth. You have to check cat, you have to check sight, bench, everything, and that angle not on the radar of Juan. They weren't even really attempting this with the bomb so deep in spawn, so it's not a big deal. B&E have some cash in the coffers to use here. They'll have a buy next round, and GX will still have an AWP for sure. Astralis though taking a 2-round lead.
Yeah, starting to look good. It's been team effort for Astralis as well, right? You have Crystal lowest tapping on 5 kills, 7 is the top for BlameF and Mister, and everybody's kind of in between that. On the side of B&E, we've had some big rounds from both Regon and GX. Scenari's had his moments. Flatro and Synopsy actually quite quiet so far, but no. After his performance from Synopsy, we can't really fault him too much, and he might get warmed up with the game. It's quite early, only 8 rounds in. Another buy round coming in for both sides. AWP once again for GX saved up from the previous round. And it looks like they're going to attempt something a little bit more interesting. Maybe a little bit of an A split there. Bomb still in front of Ram, but you do have some solid presence towards middle. Regan and Synopsy going to try and make their way into connector and challenge BlameF later on. Does he fumble though?
Meantime, they're starting to sneak up this A-Rep as well. They want to split. Oh, but this boost up in the window.
They've heard him.
Oh, and but no one's watching this at all. And with BlameF going down, that's only going to draw the attention of Christo further. That sends a gun flying across the A side, and then these kills are instant. B&E, the squeeze gets the better of Astralis.
Yeah, that's great. They just boost up a player that's waiting to walk into window, and then the second guy just tries to walk into connector and make contact, right? Even if he goes down, that's going to cause enough distraction for Regon to get into position towards window, but they don't really need that in that scenario. I mean, oh no, it wasn't Regon, it was Scenari, pardon, but it still works out really well, right? They get the kill onto BlameF, they hear Christo getting off the angle, throwing some utility. Scenari catches the perfect timing there. Synopsy even getting the initial kill. That's just a round that you win with 2 kills. Great stuff.
Yeah. And the third one just comes as a given.
Yeah.
They will try hunting these guns. And the only one challenging remotely is Glaive. And oh, he's going to drop. That's a nice headshot. Zipex, pray your lucky stars that you hold on to this M4. Regan is not going to let it happen. That's a big round for B&E. No guns saved over.
Yeah, look at the money. Even though it's maximum loss bonus, Astralis will have to go for another half. By BlameF instantly buys the hero M4 though. He's going to try and be a big boy in this round. Going to take the initiative. Maybe go for an early peek. Try and open things up. A couple pistol armors purchased around him as well to try and support. He's going to start making his way towards Under Palace. Oh, they're actually just going to stack with the M4. He's not going to go aggressive. They're just going to bait for him. This is perfect. B&E are going to play right into them.
We're going to do the old faithful strategy. That is throw a smoke and then the guy inside the smoke just run. Oh, no. They just lost flame up. The spam through the floorboards. Rigon just walks out and gets the triple kill. But wait. Oh, wait.
That's dangerous.
The ace up the sleeve. Mr. is going to hold the angle. He's in a literal 1v5. He can only get the one. That's it.
Yeah, that was actually a gold-like position there from Mr., right? I mean, Blamev gets spammed through. They spam even further and don't really hit him, so they assume it's clear, but he just loses his entire team in the process, so it doesn't really matter that he's got that position. Everyone just turns around and looks towards him. Another buy coming in for the Danes, AWP for Christo. I'm actually missing some action from Christo on the AWP. I know he hasn't really had it a lot. He tried going for a really nice Palace peak in the first buy round, and I hope that we see some more from him in that endeavor. You know, trying to open up space. Speaking about that, though, Blamev is going to be the one picking up the slack in this one.
Grief. He's on the MP9. If he had the M4, that was a guaranteed kill, and the bomb carrier as well. But now with that presence, B&E looking to slink out from A main, and GX here with an AWP. Of course, one ways can be taken here, so GX doesn't want to fight that angle. Speaking of the devil, there's Mr. up top of ticket. Now out towards middle, though. A great flash, a great re-aggression that actually catches Synopsy down in mid.
Yeah, and that's going to cut the ruse. This is such a one-dimensional take right now for B&E. They still have the time, though. They can reconsider. The only problem is there could be so many aggressive plays coming up for Astralis right now. There could be a player flanking them towards despawn by now. Could be a player that's pushed up towards B apartment, so they kind of need to get a move on.
Oh, let's see. Christo, that's a tag onto GX. Mr. does find the Palace player. That leaves a lot of pressure on this A site. Also allows Glaive to dance through. So another kill there for Mr. And Glaive helping out. Just Scenari in a 1v4, 15 HP on the Opper. And he will just be patient, hope for a peek of some sort. If Christo gives it to him. What a flick. He actually hit the shot. But he's dead to rights. And I think they're even going to try and wait off time. This is rude from Blame. 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's cruel. Scenario is not going to be clearing out that angle. Blame is just going to wait for the timer. He wants to make sure that Scenario gets no bonus money. It's not going to stop him from reinvesting in the next round. He still got it, but this is such a nice way to thin up the economy. There's the kill, and it is after time.
Just checking?
Yeah, it was.
I think so. Gotcha. Yeah. Like literally the millisecond. I thought... I always see people kill him before time, but there you go. Actual success there from Blame, taking it after time. Hold on. We can check out the seconds. 0. Yeah, that was after time. It's just like a half second or so. And so, yeah, Scenari's going to be down to little money on this one. And Astralis starting to take a significant lead. B&E. They've been able to break open some of these setups. They've had some good executes. But when they're a bit cut and dry, Astralis kind of, their setups prevail.
Yeah, that's a good play, though, from B&E. They're trying to open up a lot of space for Scenari to work with right now towards middle. And it's actually worked out, but Astralis, they were thinking it's going to be a B hit. So Mr's kind of alone here. Rotations are going to start moving in. And there's actually no one towards connector or jungle to get caught off guard from Astralis.
Tons of control here for B&E. Lots of space. But Mr. trying to take some up from inside of spawn as well. 3 players for Astralis to help Mr. Keep fighting for that site. Juan from connector. It's a big kill if he can convert it. 6 HP. Mr. does go down, but more players have to fall. They have to pay a cost for that. 2v4. Space on the site will be taken, but now the catwalk begins to become a threat. Oh dear. As now Zipx does resurface, there will be no bomb plant. And that will be Astralis, a 2-round lead again. They're securing it.
Yeah, that was a team ace as well. Everybody picking up a kill there for Astralis. It was a really good round for Astralis in terms of, you know, getting a little bit fortunate with how B&E wanted to approach it. It was a good idea from B&E, you know, throwing the stairs in the bottom stair smokes there, trying to get 2 players in really good positions towards connector, maybe catch somebody off guard. It was quite unfortunate that Astralis just didn't have anyone there, right? Window was free, connector was free, jungle was free. They just had the passive hold later on towards the murder hoe, and at some point BNE going for a play like that, not really having CT control, knowing that you still don't have the site, you feel like you need to look for a kill and find something to work with. So that's why you just saw them picking for the kill and, well, respectively losing the fight. And this one should be a free.
There you go. Clean up here, no funny games from BNE. So unable to connect, but BlameF is able to pick up the slack. 8-5 now for Astralis. Looking for a very good halftime scoreline and securing themselves, a commanding position. But there is always a BNE CT side. They're never out of a game. Are the Bad News Eagles. You got to keep your head in it 24/7 here if you're Astralis.
Yeah, looking solid now, though, on that CT side. Obviously, things could turn around, but it's been a good recovery, especially thinking about having that 5 rounds towards the middle part of the half where BNE did manage to pick up 4 out of them. That was great. Once again, picking up the pace. Regon is really fast, and he's going to catch them off guard.
Oh, but Zipex does get his gun out in time and does trade the kill. At the same time, Christo catches one flash where they try to turn up the pace, but Mister is going to punish them. Shut down our BNE. They try to hit the gas, but Astralis say no. Play concrete barrier, my friend. And a 1v4 for Scenario. This round was over quick.
Yeah, good reactive play from Astralis, right? They were caught off guard by that fast play from Regon initially, but everybody just knew what they wanted to do, right? It just doesn't look like they're playing with a, well, I don't want to call it a mixed team, but, playing with stand-ins right now. The reaction was great from everyone on the CT side. Everybody knew exactly which fights they want to pick up. Everybody knew exactly how they want to approach those fights. And, well, that's just going to leave Scenario in a pretty much unwinnable scenario that might actually give him a bomb plant if he really wants to go for it. Obviously, yeah. I don't think he realizes. I mean, how could he?
Exactly. I mean, he's going to start clearing at every angle. Like now, next up is CT spawn. This is probably the most likely position that someone would be hiding in. 30 seconds remaining. He clears that out. I think he's going to start guessing that there's a player inside of Palace.
Yeah.
And you can see he's going to plant away from that Palace position. He'll get it. Or will he? No. The leg spotted out. Mister takes him down. No bomb plant for BNE. Broke at the end of the half. This is tough.
Yeah. Mister is on 15 and 8, by the way. He's been having a phenomenal game. And that's your A anchor as well. Really good with multi-kills. Everyone on the side of Astralis has been delivering so far. It's been way more consistent compared to Dust 2 in a way. Where we kind of saw the BlameF show, and we had some good stuff from both Glaive, Zipex, Crystal the second half. But in terms of numbers, it was just Blame picking up the slack. So far, it's been everybody on the Astralis camp. BNE looking for a 6th round at least here in the end of that first half, as they line up another contact play out of the A-bomb side. One flash row making first contact, and Crystal now is gonna spot the play coming.
Oh, but now the rest of the play opens up. BlameF, Mr. Shave down 2. Christo, another double kill for BlameF. And, well,
yep. That tells the story.
10-5 right here. Astralis have had these rounds on lockdown towards the later end of this half, man. Give it a second, and yeah, that's going to be Glaive to close it down. That's going to call in a halftime break. Astralis come in with a commanding lead. 5 rounds on Mirage, and BNE are throwing for a ringer. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Katsokaa kuinka silvankuroi soittia samalla kun Henu kaataa aivan täydellisen kupillisen. Ei sinne kuppiin kyllä enempää mahdu. Myltsillä on tähtäin kohdillaan. Viimeisenkin tulis osua, ja osuuhan se.
On se Myltsi vaan tarkka.
Vielä jaksaa painaa jalkaa toisen eteen. Hupi hupi! Hyvä tempo päällä pojilla.
Podi yrittää pitää vielä tiiminsä pinnalla. 1 vastaan 2. Pommi on jo pläntättynä. Podi löytää ensimmäisen saitilta. Sitten hakee vielä sitä viimeistä. Tän ensimmäisen kudin täytyy osua. Nyt ei virheitä saa tehdä. Podi tiputtaa vielä luolaan viimeisen.
Löytää sieltä pimeästä se viimeisen pelaajan. Hakee vielä sen pommin savuista. Podi otais kohtaa todella eteellä hakemaan ne. Kaikki tarvitsevat trackit.
Eiköhän tää riitä. Tulkaas nyt.
And getting things sorted out, I think we are good to go.
Yeah, we are
We're
back.
live. We are back. All right, halftime. Halftime is done, and we're hopping back into game. You see Blame F picks up the strap book. The pistol strat is in order as we're heading on in to that T side.
Yeah, a pretty crucial pistol round coming in for both sides, right? This could be the difference between a really comfortable win for Astralis in a pretty close game from the perspective of Bad News Eagles. Really aggressive approach towards top middle early on. Blame is holding for it. Synopsis is going to spot him out. The bomb's actually towards Palace, and Scenario needs to be careful about it.
Boy.
It's the thing. Oh, that one's going to hurt. You got to stay alive. You got to run for your life there.
Oh, they're hunting him.
Yeah,
oh, they
bomb's
want
actually
him.
pushing it to CT.
Who needs a plant? I guess we're just going to go hunt for kills. 3 players, though, looking to immediately retake on this one. And GX is going to find the first onto Christo. But still, Blame F in towards Tetris, catching them, going aggressive for it. But surprise and upsee, but no, Blame F spins. 2v3, Scenario hits the dirt. It's a 1v3 now for one Flotro. It was looking to be a given, but Blame F hits him with the Zywoo spin. And that's it.
That was so painful for BNE, and now it's just Flatro, 1 versus 3. He's just gonna be picked on the contact of Blame. He's gonna get swung from the side, and Blame doesn't even need the help here. Gets the triple kill. That's Blame F. Look at the cheering. They know what they've just done. Glaive even showing his smile there. You know that the atmosphere on the Astralis camp is gonna be great after this one. Look at that shot from Blame F.
And that's the type of stuff that just tilts you if you're BNE. That's the type of stuff, like, you know internally that you hit those shots every day of the week, and it's been really tough this map for the stars of BNE. Synopsy had an incredible 30-bomb map against Saw just earlier on Ancient. This is a complete reversal of what we're seeing here. Astralis with some excellent reads on that CT side in particular, having just the setups to shut down BNE, tactically speaking. And we haven't seen the firepower surpass that just yet.
Yeah, Astralis are actually playing a really good game, right? I mean, that's 4 pistol rounds that they've picked up as well. Of course, that's going to play out a massive role in, you know, having success in the BO1s, but getting every single pistol round, all the conversions, that's a massive boost to a team that, you know, might not be the biggest favorite in terms of the lineup that they're playing in or with right now, but still have been impressive. Blame finds another opening, and that's the force buy coming in for the BNE side.
Yeah. Ooh, all right, Dome, but man, Blame F is still precise as a scout, I guess. Headshot hit, and position revealed here.
Yeah.
The legs were not spotted on the fallback. Blame relies too much on that. That could be a detriment. Scenario, though, underneath Palace. How hard will this be cleared? Not that much. And Ragon, he also found the Deagle headshot from inside a jungle. The precise shooting could lead to a force buy victory for BNE. That is something they certainly need to get back into this game. And they have the man advantage to do it. Blame F stomping inside of the jungle area. Ragon in a pressure position will fall back in towards Connector. 20 seconds on the clock, and Ragon is playing games with Blame F. Now a 1v3 for Zip, and Ragon hits him with the FPL swing.
Yeah.
BNE a force buy.
Look at his reaction as well. He's like, that's all we need to do, guys. We just need to swing at them, get the kills, land a couple. Nice one, Deeks. That's it. That's easy. And that's, you know, when you look at the books, that's actually the wrong play to go for, right? Just a wild swing. You could be giving away a free kill, but no, not if you're Regon. What a snap to the head. What a shot. He's joined the server. Astralis don't even force back here. Well, it's awkward. It's kind of like a half force, yeah?
Yeah. Regon, this isn't FPL. This is... Why is it Esports Espoo? This is Elisa Masters, man.
Yeah. Well, he's had a couple of those, you know. This is not
FPL
moments. He even had a couple of those at the major. I guess it's always going to be tough to, you know, beat the original, but he's been trying and he's been successful in some of those.
Yeah, Regon has such a story as a player because he was bouncing around so many different teams as stand-ins, substitutes for the longest time before he's found a home on this unit.
Yeah, yeah.
He was always hyped up. I believe he's had a couple like bold predictions for his name, and now he's solidified himself here.
Yeah,
that's a nice shot.
He's always been on the radar quite a lot, but you know, going through teams like Contact, like Bling. I think he even played on a he was a part of Secret as well. He played on a team called Gaijin as well, which is a completely like full Swiss lineup.
He's always had hype behind him. I think a lot of pro players have always touted his name back in 2019, 2020. When he was kind of running up a storm.
Yeah, when he was playing on that mix with, I think it was Synopsy, Anarchiz, and Tutson, if I'm not mistaken.
That was Mix. I think it got signed by Secret, and then...
Yeah, but he was kind of like a stand-in in
yeah, he was Secret. He was always a nomadic player who's certainly found a home. And definitely it's good that he gets to show what he's made of here. Charles taking another eco.
Yeah, well, it was either the full force buy in the previous one or the double eco, and apparently they just want to have the full buy. And oh, okay, that's the new Astralis stack. 5-man
on the T side.
Yeah, on the T side as well. Okay, do you want to bet on the fact that GX is going to jump down and just have the jump scare of his life?
Oh, he's going to pop flash for it.
Yeah, he's going to jump, surely. Okay, guys, prepare yourselves for a picture. That's one is going to be a family one for the history book.
Oh, boy, this is about to be fun.
Hello, everyone.
All right, he finds the kill. He spots out so many. He's going to go for the re-swing, and it actually works out for a kill. It's not going to be a round-winning thing, surely. There's no gun for retrieval. There's damage taken for Blame F. Skip a nade down there as well. Oh, they're coming out top middle. If Synopsy overextended, it could be some problems, or he'll just mow down all three. Easy does it. And it's Chris with only a Glock. That's the bad news. Eagles up to 8. There's again, this team does not give up. You cannot give them the ground to get back into this game. They already did it once against Saw today.
Yeah, they've shown to be a team that knows how to come back, and we actually know that, right? I mean, it's been kind of like the story for this team, even outside of the servers. Or you know, they've been people that, you know, everyone praises them for always going against the odds and still being able to, you know, succeed in a way. It's still a miracle for me. They're still playing with no organization, but going into the first buy round, Mister is gonna try and pick up the pace while Flatro shuts him down straight away, and Regon is going to pick up another one onto Glaive. Astralis tried to be a little bit gimmicky with this one, but completely shut down, and GX is going to fall back as the B-bomb side was completely empty for the first part of the round, but no one from Astralis is actually realizing that as they slow down into a 3 versus 5. And now being completely locked out, you just got to walk around looking for openings.
An old statistic. Fear the BNE CT side is starting to rear its head here on Mirage.
Yeah, it's not ancient, but surely they know the taste of it.
It is a statistic that has stuck with BNE through the RMR and into the major, being one of the most CT-sided teams in Counter-Strike. And okay, and they do want to keep pressing the issue. They never let off the gas, and going back for round 2 here. Christo, the one way on the edge of the smoke. It's too good. One, Tags down on a Blame. We're going to follow up. It's very awkward. And Blame F is actually going to find a kill. This gets weird. It's a 2v2. BNE were in full control, but now they aren't.
Yeah, and that was a 5 versus 3 for the CT side as well. Blame, he's low on HP, but he's still in a prime position. And Zip, he's going to make his way towards A. The only problem is that time is running low. There's only 25 seconds. Zip needs to go really quickly with this one, but Scenarii, he's going to fall back, being afraid of the jungle possibility. That's actually going to play perfectly into the hands of Astralis. They have an empty bomb site to work with, and he's not going to contest whatsoever. They're going to get a bomb plant out of this. Now he's heard it.
They're pushing towards Spawn.
No way.
Oh my goodness. Blame F. What was that? Unbelievable headshot and the tag, but it's no kill. The USP is in play. They know that both players are so low that it's M4 could be so instrumental.
Oh, look at the flash.
Oh, Zipnix, what a shot. A headshot sends GX flying, and Astralis stabilize that situation. BNE fall on their own sword.
Oh, that's a tough pill to swallow for sure. What a 3 versus 5. And that's why we put Blame F as the final boss, right? That's why he is the win condition. 23 and 10. He is the man to step up in those rounds. He is the man to constantly deliver in those low percentage situations for Astralis. What a headshot onto Scenarii. That was absolutely mental from Blame F.
On 14 HP, he got 2 kills. That is an unreal performance. BNE are still in with the bye, but this is their last legs. Lose this, and Astralis are looking to constrict the game. Take everything away from you and take this BO1.
Yeah, they've looked impressive so far. Blame F's individual form is just great. Now is the time for someone from the side of BNE to step it up, right? We spoke about all those great individuals. Regon's on 19 and 13 so far. He's top of the board, but both Synopsy and Flashro are bottom of the barrel, respectively 7 and 6 kills. And it's the A split on the cards. BNE have a nice setup for the occasion. 2 people towards connector and jungle, another one towards short, and 1 more towards the A bomb side.
Ooh, one might not know what resides underneath the smoke. He's actually going to back away. He doesn't want to face it as it fades, and for good reason. 3 players inside a connector. That's it. Oh, the smoke is there for the split.
Oh, they've seen the barrel.
Oh, they've seen the barrel. It's a death sentence here. That Molly could be the demise, but no, instead it's a double kill, nearly 3. A Scenarii finds his success. GX is even still in CT spawn, and that spam comes awful close. GX does ring out, does reposition. They're looking for the fight. So is Christo. They're fighting for frags here, but they don't really have the time to do so. Christo, though, finds Ragon. Synopsy, though, might see an opportunity to push that smoke, and it's a bit messy, but it'll get it done. And so does GX inside a spawn. BNE are back into the swing of things. Sire Elite for sure.
Yeah, that was a tough round to win. I was thinking for a second there that Christo actually could go through the murder hole and just go for the Hail Mary play towards the B bomb side, but it was always going to be really uncomfortable, right? I mean, it's a 2 versus 3. You're locked out of the bomb side. You know the AWP is towards CT holding the line. You still have the timer on the top connector smoke, and as soon as it expires, it's just BNE reigning superior in this round. Money kind of reset for Astralis. Time for Castle to try and help them out a little bit.
They've lost control of the game here.
Yeah.
That was a huge pivot round that Astralis, if they won it, they're running away with it.
Well, they're still in the lead, but yeah, it could have been a lot easier, right? You're going to put the economy of the BNE guys at a starting position. You're going to be up, what, 13-8, potentially 14-8, and it's an entirely different game. Now, unless you manage to pull off a pistol masterclass here on the T side, we should be looking at double digits for the BNE boys.
Played with the smoke in hand. He was trying to prepare himself for the molly, but there was none, so he just runs out with the smoke in hand and looks a little silly. Could they land a deagle headshot? Could they pull a Rigon? Not exactly Christo, but Mister certainly will.
Nope.
And oh no. Okay, running.
B's clear.
This could be a bomb plant.
I mean,
he will. And this is going to be a bomb plant. This is a success here for Astralis.
Yeah, and he can still get into a comfortable position, right? They're being really diligent with this one. In the end of the day, this is Zip in the clutch, so you don't really want to be giving them too many chances.
Are we going to talk a clutch here? Armorless M4. He has the goods to do it and gets the spot, but lands a dink. Comes so close.
Yeah.
Finding that initial.
Well, in a perfect world, maybe a couple years ago, he gets that 1 kill onto short, turns around, gets the Oprah, and then has a 1v1 against the Apartments player and knows exactly where he's coming from.
And then on the HLTV highlight board is ZipX versus Bad News Eagles, and we wrap it up and history.
Yeah, live from the Elisa Masters Espoo. Zip pulls off an amazing clutch against Bad News Eagles. Well, that would be in an alternative universe. Unfortunately, Doctor Strange, we live in today's world, and it's 12-10.
Oh, this is... Oh my goodness. Synopsy's in a very awkward position, and he couldn't get that initial kill. He spotted out. He's done. He's wrapped up from so many angles. It's a 3v5, and BNE, I'm not sure they can afford to lose one of these rounds. They're going to take a gamble inside of the window, and as that smoke fades, they want to fight. And Scenario will find the initial onto Mister. They even have Glaive trapped, but he will fight out of his cage from that chair position. He just drawing so many eyes. One Flotcher also wants to find this kill. They need to find this kill. And Glaive just getting information. He's just being such an annoyance, a nuisance for BNE. He's keeping them off of that B site where Zipix just takes all the space for free.
Yeah, that was a great jiggle by Glaive, by the way, because I think he heard the first player falling back from jungle, and then he sees the other one towards the right-hand side, so he has the confirmation that both players were actually towards window at some point. Makes it a lot easier for Astralis to just run for it. But yeah, that's a massive shutdown round from Astralis, right? This is the round that kind of keeps BNE from leveling things up. If that's a round that goes in favor of the CT side, no bomb plan as well. Could have been a bonus one in the next one. But now you're put back into starting position. Money, not looking great, not looking terrible either. Scenario and GX could still be able to mount up somewhat of a buy. But those fights towards middle have been hell exciting, right? I mean, for both teams, BNE had a couple of those really quick mid rounds on their T side. Didn't really work out that much, even in the moments when they were able to pick up the opening kill. On the side of Astralis, though, maybe because they haven't really been too pacey with it, BNE actually got caught off guard. Most of the time so far this half, BNE have been able to establish middle control, and Astralis have been rather later interested in that part of the map. Not this time, though. Complete switch of pace works out. And it's a max 7 for Synopsy. Now, we're not on half wall on Inferno, but I still love that.
We have a couple players in NA who know how to use that gun very well. For those NA that are awake right now.
Is Floppy one of them?
No. This is old Pone alone.
That was a tricky question.
About.
The flop is for every gun.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very true. I'll be playing in a bit. Actually, I believe they did just take their win over Fnatic. Yeah, they did. So while this one's going down, there's some news from the side stream.
Yeah, it means the winner of this one is going to be the only 2-0 team in the group as well.
Yeah. This is the fight for just control over this group stage. Real big. Again, that breath of fresh air between two of these top teams in the group.
Yeah, we're going to have one team on the top with 2-0, one team at the bottom being 0-2, that's so. And everyone else 1-1. Really close game. I love that approach from Astralis, though. They know that the buy is not going to be great in terms of utility. Yes, weapons are there for BNE, but they're just playing this run really slow. They're trying to get into the heads of Bad News Eagles right now.
Oh, that smoke towards top connector, though. Very well timed, but...
They know the opposite.
Oh, they don't really know that the cat split's coming through. Tag on a one Flotro. Now they re-execute on through. It's Synopsy's Mag 7. If they try to challenge, this could be very problematic.
Oh.
He doesn't hit the initial, but he does hit the second. He even jumps up for so much damage on the Zip. The shot not connected from Christo. It's Ragon on lockdown, and it's BNE holding on here in Mirage.
Yeah, and it's Ragon once again, stepping up so many times. We spoke about the individuals. Somebody had to step it up and match up with the performance of Blame F. Well, not only he's been able to step up and match up with Ragon, he's done one more than him. He's on 24 and 15, top of the server. What a play from him. What a hold. He is the man for the big rounds. BNE, they needed a hero and they got one in that previous round. Another buy coming forward. But it's going to be so tough to close this one out if you're Astralis, and you got to get past those individual performances on the CT side.
Oh, Blame! All right,
Whoa.
talk about individual performances. That's one right there. And they're just going to pop out of the A side, but GX is still in position. No smoke towards the stairs, and Blame jumps the gun. You know, a sentence that hasn't been said many times in Counter-Strike history. Now Mr. even inside of the stairs smoke. This is such a risky position. It's a real 50-50 fight when the smoke fades, and it'll pay off for Mr. Juan Flatro. Swings right into the angle, and look where Astralis are off to. They're off to the other site here, Ted.
Oh, and look
Blame
at
F
that
is...
Blame.
Oh, man, he can clean up the site. This is just the guaranteed, the percentage play to win the round. Unreal. The first bullet out the gun. It's done. Astralis are everywhere. BNE have no idea what just hit them.
Yeah, it's just Regon versus Blame F at this point. What a phenomenal game from both individuals. That was just the Blame F special in this round. Goes over towards middle, gets the first kill, then activates the lurk towards the B-bomb side. Actually, Astralis do a really good job of getting that kill onto the stairs player, opening up space towards A, dragging everybody bar the short one. And well, even though there was still one guy towards short, Blame had no troubles getting that kill either. And even the follow-up to round up the 3K 26. It's just going back and forth between Astralis and Bad News Eagles, back and forth between Regon and Blame F. And this is the B play to try and shut them down. There's no utility to stop that. BNE, they need to stop it only with their guns.
Are they just going to contact walk up? They are. Synopsis is an armorless Eagle. Has to have some help from Regon. From inside of it. Oh, the flashes. It's almost perfect, but Synopsis couldn't convert the kill. And Regon, he'll get ran down. The grenades get the better of him. And GX not quite in position to stop the plant.
Look at EXP.
Oh, unbelievable. That's so tragic there from GX. They're not going to go for it. It's Matt Point Astralis.
Oh, that's the most unfortunate round we've seen this entire day for sure. Mister's on 8 HP, Glaive's on 22, Zip is on 8 as well. They're so low. Every single fight that BNE went into was completely winnable. One bullet away, one whisker away, one pixel away in most of those fights would have meant a BNE round, but it's not. It's Astralis taking 15. And now you have the FAMAS, you have the AWP and the M4. But Regon and Synopsis with nothing in the bank will need some kind of a drop to come forward, and it's not going to be anything more than an MP9 apiece.
Holy. I mean, some of these rounds that Astralis have run have been so... I feel like if you're going to beat BNE, you have to play BNE's game as well. And Astralis have certainly made that work. Blame F in particular, taking some of these openers and then finding lurks, finding entries into the site, and then a straight contact B walk to bring it over the line for that 15th.
Yeah, we're just
so much diversity.
We're just seeing great stuff from Blame F and great stuff from Astralis. I mean, as a team, they've had some great ideas, and look at that. Bomb is towards Palace. That's the good old guys. Go and make contact towards B. We're going to have two people coming from middle, and we're going to plant on A. GX manages the first kill, but that's not the idea of the round. Flatrol's found another, and yeah, that's collapsed.
Oh, what? No. Unbelievable. Zip? No way he survives this, right? He's getting wrapped up from CT spawn. Is he just going to swing? No. GX actually is patient on the play. They're going to give Zip and the rest of Astralis the chance to close out this game. But now he's trapped out towards the firebox position. No matter how good you are, you're not beating that. Juan Flatro through the floorboards, and it's Mr. 1v4. It's going to take a miracle, and I don't think miracles are happening today. The defuse is going to come on through.
That shot from Zip, I'm still thinking about it. You were never going to win that round. Realistically, it's a 2 versus 4, and BNE actually played that one perfectly, right? They didn't give him a lot of 1v1s. Flatro with a massive triple, but let's reload that shot from Zip. That was mental.
I'm so glad we got it from his perspective as well, because it just feels so impossible.
Look at that. Imagine dying like that.
Man.
It wasn't even, his feet weren't at the ground. That was a mid-air shot.
See ya.
Yeah, just the
I thought when he made some noise he was a dead man, but don't be that easy. I mean, Christo for one has been a really fast opper today, and that's a leg shot onto Juan. And even though the timing's not favoring GX there, he gets off the angle, and They're already making their way up through A main. The execute is here, and Zipex is going to clean up what Christo started. Scenari from inside of spawn, though, will strike down one. Dinks going through. Wall bangs are serious. Molly next up.
How is he
down
alive?
to 9. He survives. And that is all that matters here for BNE. But, oh, going for the swing. Christo deals with Ragon, punishing that aggression, but a flank. There is a flank. Synopsy is about to give him a warm welcome. Christo falls. Next up. No, they're not going to continue. They have to press forward. With their backs to the sea, basically, here are Astralis. But BNE are going to give them space.
Yeah, that's so intelligent. They're just going to open up the bomb side. They want Astralis to walk straight there. They want to know where they are. And GX, they're going to walk into
Wow.
it. There's one and there's two. Lovely stuff by GX. 13 rounds on the board for BNE. What a round that was. Astralis once again in a really tough spot.
All right. And Bad News Eagles, a team that never gives up, are 2 rounds away from an overtime.
P90 for Zip. Did they just send it out the B
No,
apartments?
no,
I think they just
no.
rushed B. Yeah.
Is this a... Is this
yeah.
a correct purchase?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
It is correct,
it's-
baby. It is.
All right. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be on the move shooting here from Zip to chase down and to win a map. A P90. Are you serious?
Oh.
It gets the kill. It gets the entry. And maybe that's all they need. How has that been the weapon? Could that be the one that wins the game, though, is a bigger question. Lots of damage, and the nade strikes down Juan Flatro. Regon on 28. Nice edge away from going down, but he finds a headshot on Christo. BlameF deals with them, and now it's BlameF to clutch. The 2-1 Zipex's P90 started. Minute on the clock to think about it, but the flank up from Catwalk, the tag from the off, but it's not the kill.
Oh, that's so smart.
Now,
They're gonna play
whoa!
together. He's not
Oh
ready.
my word, he's not ready. He wasn't expecting Scenari to reposition. Almost a clutch there, almost the P90 entry and the conversion, but no, it's all 30 rounds.
Yeah, look at Scenari. He's so nervous right now. That's been such a tough game. Astralis go for another tactical timeout. That was so wild there. Christo with the tag on the Tech 9. BlameF, it had to be him in the 1 versus 3, but it's just not. He was picking up so many kills across the board. Once again, 29 under his belt. Needed 30 to close it out in regulation. But now, might not have the time. Second tactical timeout for Astralis in this game. What do you pull out of the hat now? Money is not great either. I mean, you're still going to be able to have rifles on a couple people, but it's not going to be ideal. The previous round, it was a ballsy decision. It's a nice call, but if it doesn't work out, and if you don't get away with the bomb plant, which they didn't, it gets really close. And I believe the money on the side of BNE is going to be more than perfect. So the purchase there, it doesn't really matter that they lost 4 members. It's going to be impeccable.
Oh, this is a speed out middle. And almost full on smoke spam from Juan. Swing out. Oh, he could convert. Zip on 11 HP. We'll find the kill. But Christo walks out and just goes down to GX. Advantage handed right back to BNE.
Yeah, look at the HP as well. Both Glaive and Zip being extremely low. Flatro, if he goes for a peek, if they challenge, they might be going down. It's Mr. and BlameF that need to step up in this round, surely, and they're just on Galils.
Mr. still in towards A main, giving them that option. Scenari looking like he wants to play the issue, like he wants to brawl towards A main. This is a game-deciding move, and he's going to win the fight. You would think Mr. could get it, but no. Glaive actually comes back in and finds a kill back. One Flatro hands him the fight. And with 50 seconds remaining, we have a 3v3.
Oh, what a
no,
nade.
the nade!
Kobe.
$30 seconds. Walk out A main. BlameF, the only healthy player. Flash in, that just reveals the position. BlameF is going to start taking the space. He knows what a headshot to find Scenari. Is he going to be ready for the next, though? It's GX inside of spawn. Gonna throw out the bomb and swing into GX. It's Zip on 11 HP. He's good. Is he this good? He isn't. It's overtime for BNE. They don't give up, my friend.
Oh, look at that reaction as well. It's absolutely deserved for Egon. Well, it's no coincidence the cameras are showing him. He's been an absolute hero, right? He was, I think it's safe to say, he was the reason that they're still in this game, right? Towards the latter stages, there were so many people stepping up. Everybody on the side of BNE was delivering kills. Scenari, GX, Inopsy, Flatroll, they just woke up towards the last couple rounds, but it was Regon with those insane clutches, those insane individual displays that did manage to keep them in the game. And he's actually went for the AWP purchase here. Rock the double op. Man is feeling comfortable. Let him try and run them over.
There's been an opper in his time. And does secondary for his team. Christo had an opportunity, but instead goes down to 10 points of health. And, oh, okay, they really don't want him going towards the underpass. 2 mollies to greet him.
Setup's perfect.
Oh, but Glaive hits the instant headshot. That was the opper walking into the line. Synopsy, though, still pushing up aggressively towards top middle. That kill will not go untraded, or will it? Zipex got past the connector players, and the setup falls apart. One Flatro has got him pinned underneath the window, and yes, One Flatro will trade. But, I mean, you have to commit so many I say that, but now it's a 3v3 all of a sudden. They're going to turn it back towards the B site, and it's Rigon's off, who will snipe out Glaive from the sky. More on the way as well for Rigon. They have to find a way to bait the shot, and it's so perfect. Jumping out the window, but the plant's not protected. Scenario on the site. One Flatro's going to find Christo. It's Blame F for a 1v2.
Yeah, he's spotted
around the site, and he's seen the player inside a market. He's ready for the player dancing around the site. First headshot found. It could be a classic Blame F clutch. 30 seconds, but he's trapped out toward the bench. He needs to fight himself into a new position, and One Flatro picks the peak perfectly. 16 for BNE.
Oh, that's the impact as well, right? Flatro, he's been having a really slow game so far, but stepping up in a moment like that, this is absolutely massive to shut down Blame F as well. He's been having a monstrosity of a game. 31 and 18 for the Danish tank as he gets shut down in this clutch attempt there. BNE, they continue on 16 rounds now on the CT side. The streak is alive. A game that felt like it was done a long time ago, but bad news Eagles, they continue winning consecutive rounds. Mister once again gonna try and press charges towards middle and does manage to do so onto Regon.
Oh, GX locked out. I mean, you play this committed angle with an op. Hoping maybe that a player boosts up right into his barrel, but nothing giving. Now Synopsy's turn. He gets an op. They're going up connector right now. Synopsy, does he want to take the swing? He'll receive a molly, and he's considering the push forward. He wants to extinguish, but by this time, his entire team has been swept aside, or has it? Almost a chance there. Scenari so close on a blame. But with Synopsy on 2 HP, it's time to save. It'll be Astralis equalizing.
Yeah, 16-16. Great middle presence from Astralis, getting that early opening kill and then freezing totally, right? They didn't give anything there to Bad News Eagles in terms of information, in terms of fights, and Zip is probably going to get that kill. Synopsy is just 2 on HP. He's going to go down. Gun barrel spotted. Spam through the wall. There's the kill. Nothing being saved. That's a bit of a problem now, by the way. I mean, you look at the money, Regon and GX had no cash whatsoever going into the round. So a lot of guns are going to be dropped over. I think they're still going to be all right. Yeah, they're barely going to be all right. No money for the double op here. Synopsy doesn't really have a kit. Same for Scenario and Regon, but it's not going to be such a massive issue. Flatro has one. Utility is all right as well. Everything in touch. We go again this round. Could be the difference maker. And it's going to be a pretty straightforward one from Astralis.
They don't want to go... I mean, they've been putting some complicated defaults in the mix early on in this game. Now it's just a straight hit. And they even leave Blame F towards middle. They cross. To the site they go, but... Oh, Glaive, he found the spam through the smoke. One Flatro tried to engage in that duel. And Blame F, even on the lurk, catches the rotator Rigon. 3v5, tags through the smoke, damage landed here by Synopsy, but it needs to be more than that. And he's going into connector. I mean, he's just about to walk right into Blame F, surely. I mean, 28 HP, 1 bullet will do it.
They're going back B.
I can't believe it. These guys, They play the percentage game so much here for Astralis, but oh, it's getting a little risky, but this B-side's wide open.
Yeah, now they realize that GX and Synopsy are just going to go for the run. They're actually going to be quite quick on this one. The jump towards short, I believe, is a fact, and the timing might be favorable. Synopsy, he's going to run through that. He's got a timing. Glaive is low on HP. Synopsy gets the kill, but it's Cristo and Zip to close it out. It's 17 for Astralis.
He hit the shot while blind. I thought it was going to be something absolutely obscene, but the 2 kills do come in through from the remaining Astralis players. There are trades on the play, and even Cristo posted up to lock it in. So Astralis hold the lead.
Wow.
In this overtime.
Those last second rotations have been absolutely wild, right? The fact that they were able to set up Blame F in such a nice way towards the middle lurk, obviously this is something that B&E actually took into account in regulation, and they dealt with him a couple times, but I believe he was hiding in the top mid smoke, and he was a lot more passive, so that's why they kind of overlooked it. And then it feels like Blame just from a lurker transitions into the guy that's just going maximum damage. And the lurker actually becomes Mr., who's been left towards ramp. And he was initially the person to make first contact. It's just a really deep plan there from Astralis. And I feel like all of these kills have been made on the fly, right? Just mid-round, really good coordination and reactions from the Danes. Great stuff from both Blame.
No hesitation, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you hesitate once on that call, then B&E are there in time, and you are looking silly when you might have just had an A site that you might need to put up a little bit of a fight for.
Yeah, that's why it's really good to have, a lurker that was really accustomed to IGLing, because, he's going to be a big voice in the team, and he's going to be giving away ideas and different perspectives.
All right, Cristo. That's a great flash. Austin, Cristo. They do sneak up closer to the angle. And trying to play the jump peek game. No shot connected from Cristo, and he's going to take the long reposition. Could have gotten punished if there was an op on the other end of things, but not today. Seems like are they just going to go through this? Oh, they certainly are. The flash is in. There we go. On entry duty. They are already taking all of this space, but Mr. will open up with the first, and in the sight, Mr. just posting up a great hold. It's a shutdown here from Astralis. We might see another map point out of them. And Cristo is going to nail it in 18. One more to go.
Yeah, what a hold that was from the youngsters. 2 for Mr., 2 for Cristo. That was the same round that Astralis did in the previous one, right? Bad News Eagles just stole it away, but Astralis were really good with the reaction. AWP able to find both shots. Mr., we highlighted him after Blame F. He's been the best individual performer on the side of Astralis, constantly delivering multi-kills towards that A bomb side in regulation as well in the first half. 2 consecutive chances for Astralis to close it out, and this time around is on the defense.
And so working this underpass position. Super slow. B&E don't want to make any more mistakes. I think the situation is starting to be very real as the smoke fades, though they're inside of it. Cristo couldn't hit the shot. He's lucky to be alive, though. He gets away.
Oh, Flash is great. Glaive needs to be careful. He still has Cristo, who's taking that underpass position into account. And he can just stick around, right? There's no top-middle presence being shown just yet from Bad News Eagles, and that's not going to change. Astralis, they have a lot of information right now. Surely you rotate a second player back towards the B-bomb side eventually. They're actually going to send Glaive looking towards top mid, but B&E, wow. GX is going to get the kill, and now it's a man advantage for the T's.
He was sitting patient there since the start of the round, and he gets rewarded a minute deep.
Yeah, problem is they have no map control right now, right? They have only top middle. There could be a CT push towards mid. There could be another one towards the B apartments. They could be one towards Palace and ramp. That's going to be a really tough round. They need to clear out every single angle, and there's only 30 seconds to work with.
Yeah, I mean, this is incredibly risky. But they're just going to go for the cat split, and Cristo is locked out. They do have 2 players here, though, for Astralis. Blame F towards the bench. Zipex on cat. Blame F follows up. It's a double kill for the 2 defenders. Now Zipex gets another. Blame F up top, looking to put this one to rest. To be 2-0 here at the Espoo on their debut. It's only Flasher standing in the way, and he's not even going to commit to the plant. Astralis are now 2-0. That is the map. A 19-16 win on the debut with a new lineup every which way. That's a huge win.
Yeah, ring around the rosy, around the smoke for BlameF in that final round, just dancing around, staying alive, getting kill after kill. What a hold from himself and Zip. And what a moment of resilience shown by Astralis as well, right? To have that massive lead in regulation, flop it away, B&E doing a really great job of forcing that game into overtime, but still, Astralis were able to come back strong and close it out.
Yeah, I mean, respect the resilience, though, from BNE. Again, they're still a contender in this tournament, putting 4 rounds in a row in regulation to bring it to overtime. But Astralis, a debut with new players. Mr. putting up a great game on that CT side, no less. BlameF doing BlameF things. And Christo doing as asked, for sure. They're definitely...
The BlameF factor, he ended the game on 35 and 20. What more can you ask from BlameF? I mean, this man delivered in every single aspect. But Astralis, man, I really didn't expect him to be looking that great going into the tournament, right? I mean, playing without Device, Farlick is out of the lineup. You're playing with both Christo and Mr. BlameF needs to step it up a lot more, but it hasn't been only him. Yes, he's been delivering, and he's been delivering in an astonishing way. But I like the way that they've used Christo and Mr. in some of those rounds. Man, we need to highlight Mr. He's been a really solid A anchor.
Yeah, that was he was the rock of the team, all things said. And also transitioning into Lurk, moving between roles. Astralis were a unit this game. Is a really a really big takeaway within this game against BNE. And Mr. did everything he needed to. This was an Astralis unit. This is something that hasn't been able to be said. I mean, maybe since that major. This is a good-looking Astralis. All things said, they're 2-0 in their group. They have that breath of fresh air. So, you know, maybe there could be a mistake in these BO1. Things could go wrong. But they still have a great opportunity just to press themselves into playoffs. Easy as that. They're 2-0. We also see Complexity take their win over Fnatic. So this is your current Group B standings. It is, I mean, we're only 2 BO1s deep. But this group is wide open.
Yeah, it's really overcomplicated, right? We have Complexity, BNE, 500, and Fnatic, all of them being with 1 loss and 1 victory. And we still have another BNE game to follow up after this one, I believe. I'm not sure if this is right, and we have Complexity taking on Saw now on the A stream. I believe we should have BNE taking on 500, and this could be a little bit wrong, but yeah, we're going to get a confirmation from production any moment now, I guess, guys. But for now, we're going to be going into a bit of a short break, and we're going to be right back in just around 10-15 minutes with the next game of the second day here at the Elisa Masters Espoo 2022.
We have a solution for you.
Red Bull gives you wings.